Battery fully charged. Launch ready for WWE Aftershock in 3, 2, 1. World Wrestling Entertainment Discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to WWE Aftershock Week 27. I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with
Chris.
Usually ahead of time, I do like a big countdown. I'm like, oh, 3, 2, 1. But this time, I just went right into it. Like, you weren't even prepared. You could have been like off camera. Like, you could have gone off to get a drink or something, and you wouldn't have even known the show set.
Disappeared.
Yeah,
you wouldn't see me again.
I know. Yeah, we made it to 27 weeks. How do you feel that we made it to 27 weeks? I think that's pretty cool.
I would say it's shocking, to say the least, because we're never consistent with this stuff. It's always like we do one video and then we wouldn't do another video for 3 months, and then we decide that, hey, that's a good idea. That's a great idea to keep our audience, is to do one video and then not do it again for 3 months, and then hey, we'll come back and do a channel update video, and then we'll disappear again for 6 months this time.
Do you remember Top 5 Flop 5? That lasted like 3 episodes, and then we just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah, because it was so stupid.
We are gonna bring that back, just not in the same way that we did it before. But that's gonna be like a 2024 project, probably. I like how I'm saying it's a project. Then
we tried to do top 10 flop 10, and that never got off the ground.
Yeah, but we made it to 27 weeks. I'm proud of that. And we have to talk about this week's stuff when it comes to the WWE. I mean, that's kind of why we're here. That's the whole point of this, you know. We don't just... We're not going to talk about nothing else. I bet you think I'm such a traitor right now. I'm wearing an AEW t-shirt on a WWE broadcast. I bet you're like, what the hell is going on?
The audacity.
Yeah. Which is funny because that's what I'm using to record my audio on, Audacity. So, yeah. Audacity's not even happy with me right now. But, yeah, we're just going to start talking about Raw. Raw aired the day before 4th of July. So, it aired July 3rd, 2023. In case you didn't know what number came before 4. And we had some exclusives. I usually don't talk about them, but I will this time. Tommaso Ciampa sent a message to The Miz. He cuts this really great and passionate promo, talking about his hatred for The Miz, talking about how The Miz, he finally woke something up inside The Miz, because The Miz was just happy to be there, but he woke up a sleeping dragon pretty much, and he said that he hopes that the sleeping dragon has allowed The Miz to fuel his fire and all that type of stuff. So I like this promo by Ciampa. It was his old NXT style promos where like he would sit down in a chair and then he would get up eventually. So what did you think of this?
I thought it was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
They did show
a different side to him.
Yeah, they did show it on the actual show too, which was cool. And then on Instagram, Otis gave a pep talk to Natalya. Basically, she was going to fight for the Women's World Championship. So he was giving her a pep talk, and he did a very good job giving her a pep talk. I thought he did a really good job. He was able to motivate Natalya to, feel good about potentially winning the, I almost said the Raw Women's Championship, but the Women's World Championship. So, yeah, I liked that. I don't think you saw that because you had other things going on that day, so we'll just move on. Then Byron Saxton gave Jackie Redmond some tips since this was going to be her first, Raw backstage, doing interviews and stuff like that. Even though she only does like 2 interviews, Byron Saxton pretty much had to like carry her the whole time. He did all the interviews most of the time. So what the hell was she talking about? I mean, she does the big ones, but Byron Saxton was basically carrying the load right there. Poor Byron. He usually gets like the day off. He's expecting to like kind of chill, but. Byron Saxton was kind of giving us a little bit of a preview on Raw, and then, he brought in Jackie Redmond, who's going to be like his new partner in crime, doing the backstage interviews. She wanted advice from Byron Saxton, and Byron Saxton basically said that, you have to have your head on a swivel all the time when you interview the superstars. You have to kind of expect not everyone's going to be the nicest to you. You can understand why Byron Saxon gives that advice, because no one's ever nice to Byron Saxon when he does interviews. I think some of the big advice he gave was like, apparently there's this candy that Dominic Mysterio likes, that if you give him that candy, he'll be nice to you, but if you don't give him that candy, you don't want to see him the rest of the day type of thing, which I think, I don't think Chris, you would be giving him that candy if you were him backstage.
He doesn't deserve it.
And then he talked about how catering's good. He think you want to have the good catering, and then he left to go get catering, and Jackie Redmond just followed him. So I think we know where Byron Saxon goes when he's not doing interviews. He's just eating and catering. Like, he's not even doing his job. He's just there eating and catering. Like, come on, man.
I mean, what the hell is he supposed to do?
I know.
All these women are taking over his job.
Apparently, yeah.
But hey, on the flip side, I'd rather just sit there and eat catering.
Yeah, he had catering.
You rather talk to anyone?
Huh?
You just fucking sit there and eat. You get a free meal.
I mean, I do hear catering in WWE is really good, so that's awesome. Then we had the actual show itself. We had Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves on commentary. They did really well on commentary. They're starting to find their stride together on commentary now, so that's awesome. And the show opened up with Seth Rollins. He came out to do a promo. He talked about how he was happy to have retained his World Heavyweight Championship. He thought he had a very successful Money in the Bank, and he said that he's looking forward to the future and to see what's next for him. And he gets interrupted by none other than Cody Rhodes, which I don't think anyone expected, because obviously there's reports backstage and everything like that Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins have heat with each other now, which is
that's changing. So
yeah, obviously it is if they were doing this segment right here. So, however, before Cody Rhodes can say anything, Brock Lesnar interrupts him. And Cody Rhodes makes a beeline for Brock Lesnar. They start brawling around and all that type of stuff. And eventually Cody fights him off. He hits him with the Cody Cutter and sends Brock Lesnar out of the ring. And Cody Rhodes fights him off. I liked this. I actually kind of liked that Cody Rhodes was ready for Brock Lesnar. It did make sense. You could say, like, why was he able to fight off Brock Lesnar? But I thought they made sense out of it later in the night where Cody Rhodes said that he would call out Brock Lesnar. It wouldn't really make much sense if Brock Lesnar showed up and he didn't expect it. Like, at least he was, ready for Brock Lesnar the whole time.
No, he was ready, yeah.
Yeah. That would have made sense, because, in the Vince era type of thing. I mean, I guess we still kind of are in the Vince era, but I would say the more so Vince era, they would have had, Brock...
The zero input from everyone else Vince era.
Yeah. Vince would have had Brock completely lay out Cody. He would have even expected him to be there. So I like that he was ready for him. And then we should mention, by the way, Triple H was not at Raw backstage. No, there's no reason for it. I think he just took the holiday. So Bruce Pritchard ran the show on Monday, which I thought he did a pretty good job.
It was Vince.
Oh, it was Vince.
Yeah.
I was hearing Bruce Pritchard, so
because Vince never misses an MSG show, and he was there.
Okay.
He only made tiny corrections because SmackDown. I was thinking of SmackDown.
Oh, I was gonna say
yeah. I didn't know that Triple H wasn't at Raw. It was actually I mixed the two shows up.
Okay, I was gonna say because Raw wasn't an MSG, so
yeah.
But continuing, then Seth continues. He continues talking. He talked about how crazy of a brawl that was between Seth, but not between himself, between Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. And then he gets interrupted by the Judgment Day. And Judgment Day talk about how successful of a night they had at Money in the Bank because Damian Priest won the Money in the Bank contract. And Damian Priest kind of points out the fact that he could cash in anytime he wants on Seth Rollins. He could cash in, tonight. He could cash in on SmackDown. He could cash in any night he wants.
Ooh.
And, Seth Rollins points out that there's no Finn Balor there, so he's wondering if there's cracks starting to form in the Judgment Day. And obviously, they say there's no cracks in the Judgment Day. And Dominic Mysterio goes to speak, but because he's getting booed out of the building, he has Rhea Ripley talk for him, and Rhea Ripley talks about how Dominic Mysterio is a different person than when Seth Rollins faced him all that time ago. Which is, I find that coincidence that they did this segment, and it was the same day that like they did that attack. We did the Raw Underground retro because that's because Dom's a big influence on that show. So, it was kind of cool. And Dominic challenges Seth Rollins to a match, and Seth obviously realizes that this is a trap. Obviously, because they're doing this to wear him down. So that way Damian Priest can cash in his Money in the Bank contract. But Seth doesn't want, basically doesn't want to back up away from a fight, so he accepts the challenge. I liked all these segments. I liked the Cody Block part of it, and I liked the Seth Rollins Judgment Day part of it. And I thought it set up a nice storyline. So what did you think of this?
I liked it a lot. It was everything really flowed nicely. I liked it. It was great.
Then we had Damian Priest with Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley ringside versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought this match was excellent. I thought it was very good. Shinsuke Nakamura starts off really aggressive. He dominates Damian Priest throughout the beginning of this matchup. Then eventually Damian Priest gets the heat on him. He hits like a body slam like across the barricade onto Nakamura. It was pretty cool. And then eventually Nakamura mounts a comeback, and eventually Damian Priest is able to cut him down, and he hits the south of heaven onto Nakamura for the win, and Damian Priest wins. Obviously, it made sense for Damian Priest to get the win here since he just won the Money in the Bank contract. Because if you remember, in the Vince booking, he would always have the Money in the Bank contract holder lose every match before they cashed in. So it looks like we're on a good start now. It doesn't look
as they should have.
It doesn't look like that's going to happen for a bit. So what did you think of this? I like this match a lot.
I like this match a lot. It was a really good match. Really good opening match. After the crazy opening segment, I loved it. It was really good.
And then next, Ronda Rousey comes out to do a promo. And this promo was not what I expected to happen. I think we were both thinking on Saturday, a week ago last week, when Shayna turned on Ronda, that Shayna was going to be the heel and Ronda was going to be the babyface. Because typically the person that gets turned on is usually the babyface out of it. But that's not the case. Ronda Rousey, calls out Shayna Baszler. I think we still think at this point that she's the babyface. But so she calls out Shayna Baszler and she wants to know why she turned on her. And Shayna comes out and... she says that she's the only one that legitimately could take out Ronda Rousey on the roster. And Ronda basically doesn't let her talk. She just says, get in this ring and explain yourself. But she never gets into the ring. She just stands under the apron. And Shayna Baszler says that the reason that, she turned on Ronda Rousey is because she's the reason that Ronda Rousey's there to begin with. She was kind of the test animal, pretty much. The experiment to see if Ronda Rousey could work out in the WWE. And she talks about how Ronda Rousey basically just got to the WWE. She didn't have to put in the work, while Shayna Baszler had to wrestle for less money, pay her dues, work the indies, set up the ring, and all that type of stuff. And she talks about how she actually loves this business, where Ronda Rousey just expects the business to love her without having to work for it. And again, she talks some more about how Ronda Rousey, how she could kick Ronda Rousey's ass. She has that background and everything like that. And she said that she tried to make it work as a tag team, but she was just sick and tired of being Ronda Rousey's lackey and having to do all the dirty work for Ronda Rousey. But now she just wants to kick her ass. So, they have a fight. And they brawl around ringside. And Ronda Rousey's about to lock Shayna in the armbar, but Shayna turned it into an ankle lock. And she locks Ronda into the ankle lock for a long time. And then she hits a running knee onto Rousey, completely knocking her out. And that was pretty much the segment right there. I thought the segment was awesome. I thought Shayna Baszler was absolutely awesome in this segment. And I like the fact that she's going to be the babyface. I think that's a great idea. She hasn't been a babyface before, so this is a way to freshen up her character. And, she has basically... everything I made it sound like you would think she'd be the heel because typically that's the whole reason heels turn heel and all that type of stuff. But it actually makes her a babyface because Shayna basically did have to pay all the dues. She didn't get the the red carpet treatment that Ronda Rousey got pretty much in the WWE. So I liked this a lot. I thought Shayna was excellent here. What did you think?
I thought Shayna was great. Again, it's just like it should be this way. It shouldn't be fucking Ronda being the face because she just doesn't work as a face.
Yeah.
Clearly fucking obvious. She does not work as a babyface. So it made all the sense in the world for Shayna to go out there and be the face, and it worked.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
awesome.
The crowd was super behind her.
I know, yeah.
Every fucking word that she said.
And I did like I think at one point when Ronda went to talk again, Shayna's like, "Don't even talk, because you can't cut a promo." Like I like how Shayna immediately cut her off, said, "Yeah, don't even try to talk because you can't even cut a promo. You have no personality." That was awesome.
I was like, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
this is true. It's fucking true.
Yeah,
just brutal on the mic.
Then Alpha Academy and Maxine Dupree are backstage. They talk about how Chad Gable's gonna put his coaching skills to the test, and they're going to take on the Viking Raiders in Valhalla and completely take them out. I thought this was a decent segment here. What did you think of this?
I liked it. Gets them over again. Yeah, everything about them is just awesome.
Then the show goes downhill for a little bit. We have a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Tag Team Turmoil #1 contenders match. This was bad. It's probably the worst thing that happens with the whole show. The tag teams are Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, Tegan Knox and Dana Brooke. We'll get into why that's a problem. I think it's Emma and Nikki Cross, and then Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. There's one more team I think I'm forgetting. Oh, it's no wonder why I'm forgetting, because that's so inconsequential. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. That's a problem right there that I always forgot they were a team. One problem, all the entrances, well, we find out why that's the case later, but all the entrances except for Chelsea Green's and, Sonya Deville's took place during the picture-in-picture ad break. Yeah, because Raw did picture-in-picture this week. For every match, pretty much, so there's that. By the way, if you're wondering why I haven't mentioned Sidecast, because I didn't watch it this week because I couldn't watch Raw live, and I said I'm not watching it anymore. So if you want to know why we're not watching it, go watch the last show that Chris and I were on, because that's why we're not watching it anymore. We're not going to repeat it.
Yeah, it's done. I'm not listening to that. I'm not watching it ever.
But yeah, and then they went on commentary, but Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan were just watching the match ringside and all that type of stuff. Yeah, this match was bad. All the teams in the match really did make sense. Obviously, most of them weren't even a real team. I think Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell are a real team. Raquel Rodriguez and they weren't in the match, but Chelsea Green and I guess Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, I guess at this point are a real team, but they're still thrown together because Carmella got pregnant.
But yeah, I would say they're more so less thrown together now and more of an actual tag team.
Yeah. Emma and Dana Brooke were... No. That should have been the team. It was Dana Brooke and Tegan Knox were just thrown together. They were just thrown together legitimately last minute. Dana Brooke, by the way, her knee was not taped up at all from the match on NXT with Cora Jade and all, so it's as if that didn't happen. And I could say, well, that was Raw, no one watches Raw. It's not taped up on NXT this week because she shows up on NXT, so yeah, completely null and void that injury. Tegan Knox, by the way, I told you, she's been a heel on main event, but she was just a babyface here for no reason.
Let's go, random babyface.
So she's going to be you might get this reference, she's going to be the Alicia Fox of the women's division. Remember there would be weeks where Alicia Fox would be a heel and then Alicia Fox would be like a babyface some weeks.
Let's go.
And then Nikki Cross wanted to team up with Candice LeRae, but Candice LeRae said that she already promised Indy Hartwell. This was earlier in the day they showed this, so then Emma just teamed up with her. And Emma's a heel, and Nikki Cross's face, and that team was really thrown together. Let's be real, the team should have been flipped. It should have been Nikki Cross and Tegan Knox, and Emma and Dana Brooke. I don't know why they don't put Emma and Dana Brooke back together as a team, because they were a team in NXT, it would make sense, but nope, they're not doing that either.
Why the fuck would they do that?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then, yeah, this match was bad. I'll just go through it. It starts with Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Chelsea Green hits the I'm Prettier onto Candice LeRae and eliminates her 2 minutes into the match. This was Indy Hartwell's first match on Raw. Was a 2-minute nothing tag match, and she barely did anything in the match. You wouldn't have even known she was there. It was like blink and you missed it type of thing.
It really was.
Yeah, not a good debut for Indy Hartwell right there. They could say that maybe she's still recovering from the knee injury she got a few weeks ago, but if that's the case, why did they even put this team in there? They just really didn't make any sense. Then it's Nikki Cross and Emma in the match. Nikki Cross is just distracted the whole time by the fact that Candice LeRae's been laid out. She completely leaves the match, so I guess she doesn't want to be number one contenders for the tag titles, because why would you want to be number one contenders? And,
Never.
and then, they lose to the Unprettier, followed by a running knee by Sonya Deville. And then it's Dana Brooke and Tegan Knox. The whole match takes place during picture-in-picture. I think they get eliminated during picture-in-picture, so that just shows you what they thought of that tag.
They got eliminated in picture-in-picture, or I think it was a full ad break.
It was a picture-in-picture they were eliminated, so...
I thought the match was over.
Yeah.
I forgot that the last team was even there.
Yep, it's Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. They faced off...
They're so not memorable!
Yeah. There was one memorable thing that happens. They do like a moonsault, like corkscrew, like senton type of thing. They completely screwed that up. I think Katana Chance didn't get down in time for the moonsault, so it just ended up... It was just really botched and really... I think they botch, like, one move every match that they have.
Oh, they definitely do, because they're terrible.
Yeah. And then they get taken out, and then Chelsea Green hits the Unprettier, followed by another sliding knee by Sonya Deville. And Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green win the tag team turmoil match. Cool. Which nobody cared. Like, the crowd died during this match, too. They were not into this match at all.
Yeah, because they realized how shitty it was.
Yeah. This match sucked. It was really boring. What a great way, by the way, to have your heel tag team. They basically put them as baby faces, where they had to go through the whole gauntlet match. Like, that's not what you do with a heel tag team. Like, they should have been last.
Sympathy, baby!
Yeah. But yeah, it's what it is. I didn't like this. I'm not a fan of Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville challenging again for the tag titles, because we just saw this match a while ago. I want to see something new in the tag division, but again, they don't have any other teams because they keep breaking them all up. Again, Shawn Michaels' influence, baby. He's slowly working his way up to the main roster. He wants to break up all those tag teams now in the main roster, because he's ran out of teams to break up in NXT. So
he gets so excited. He gets giddy when he gets a chance to break up a tag team.
I think too. I wonder if if a tag team breaks up in other companies and stuff. If he goes out of his way to watch that segment too, to see a tag team break up, he's like, oh my gosh, and he asks people around to like watch other products to see if tag teams get broken up. Like, did a tag team break up? Like, I want to. It'd be funny too. It'd be funny too if he does like a locker room meeting, like a mandatory locker room meeting. You think it's gonna be like about something? He's like, so any tag teams? All he asks is, did any tag teams break up in the world of wrestling? Like, that's all he asks. And then they tell him like this team broke up and that team broke up, and Sean's just like, okay, carry on. And he just goes in his office on his.
Creed Brothers, you're next.
I wonder if he makes a list of teams he's gonna break. Like, he has on the docket to break up, and he's just trying to decide like. He's trying to decide like when he wants to break them up
on a chalkboard, so it's extremely loud, and he does it to where it's almost screeching, so that people know. Here it comes. Here comes our judgment day.
I wonder if every tag team too like has their head on a swivel type of thing, like nervous they're gonna break up too, like. I want how Chase U's feeling right now. They're probably freaking nervous right now, like, because they know, because they know they've been on the list for a while. They've been on the shot. They've been on the chopping block for a while. By the way, like Sean's been waiting to break them up. Like,
he's been waiting. It's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, but yeah, anyhow, what did you think of this tag team turmoil match? This 5-star banger right here.
This might be a match that they play when they're all inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yep.
As a tribute to how great this match was. This might be the worst tag team turmoil match I've ever seen. Nice of them to bring Indy and Candice back together, and nice of them to bring Candice off of mom duty to just losing under a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Nice of them to do that. One of the well-respected women's wrestlers all around the world. And what do? You job her out in the first fucking and the first ones out of the tag team turmoil. Not Dana Brooke and Tegan Knox, the thrown together tag team that makes no sense. Not Emma and Nikki Cross. Oh no. Let's do Candice and Indy first. But here's the caveat. They can't last more than 2 minutes.
Yep.
Like, it's so dumb and stupid. If I was Candice and they were going to do that to me, I'd just be like, I'm just going to stay home with Quill. There's no point for me to even showing up.
I know.
If I'm going to fucking get embarrassed like that on national television. And lose in such a fucking pathetic fashion.
Yeah, it was a waste of time. Especially for
It really was.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Because Candice LeRae, she basically didn't make any money. She just showed... I mean, she obviously made money, but she had to pay for all her flight travel and all that type of stuff, too. So it was a waste of time for her. Like,
It's just it's just not a good utilization of her.
Not at all.
That is a legitimate tag team, and they couldn't wait to job them out the second that they got there.
Yep.
I was like, oh, nice. Thanks for showing up, Candice and Indy. Thanks for punching in your time card. You lasted fucking less than 2 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, what a waste of time. Anything else you want to say about this match?
It's a fucking joke and it's pathetic. And we're going to have to see another Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville versus Raquel and Liv match.
Yeah. Which we always...
Again.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't fucking think of anything new or anything different or anything interesting.
Yep.
They couldn't have done Candice and Indy versus the tag champs. They couldn't have done anybody else. They could even as much as I fucking hate it, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance would have been something different.
No, they're not.
We've seen this
for
fucking months.
Yeah. And then, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not even worth.
What a great idea, by the way, to put them back in the win. I mean, I know injuries happen, but hey, let's put Liv Morgan back in the win with do the same match that got Liv Morgan injured to begin with. What a great idea that is. Great idea. It's fantastic.
They couldn't wait.
Yeah. And then we had a bunch of promos because apparently WWE forgot what wrestling was for a while. They just forgot. They didn't know what it was. We had Bronson Reed have a nice video package showing his dominance, talking about how he's going to take out all the Raw roster and all that type of stuff. And again, he says he's a nice guy. He keeps saying that, but I'm starting to not believe it, so I don't know what's going on. But I like this video package. Showed his dominance. I think they're trying to get him into a storyline because it looks like the Ricochet feud's going to be put on ice for a little bit. I still think they could go with the Nakamura feud because there's some unfinished business there. But what do you think of this?
I thought it was a nice video package, and man, he's not really a nice guy.
But his mom
said it, but like,
yeah, I don't know.
I'm starting to think he's a little bit more devious than he's letting on.
Yeah,
he's not really a nice man. If he was a nice man, he wouldn't be picking on the smaller guys.
Yeah. Then we had Becky Lynch have a promo. She came out. She talked about how disappointed she was that she didn't win the Money in the Bank ladder match, but that stuff happens sometimes. we just have to move on. And she wants to basically get rid of Trish Stratus and put an end to the storyline so that way she can move on to her career. Which I don't blame her for. So she calls out Trish and Zoe Stark to fight her pretty much. And Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark comes out. And surprise, surprise, they brought back that storyline back from 2004, 2005-ish, when Trish Stratus had her face broken. Like, it's the exact same thing, where, like, obviously it wasn't as good then because Trish doesn't know how to be a heel anymore. But Trish Stratus, talks about how she's not medically cleared to go fight Becky Lynch right now. Because she has a broken face at the moment, which I don't think that's how fights work, by the way, Trish. I don't think you could just be like, yeah, I'm not medically cleared to fight you. Like, Becky could just be like, yeah, well, I'm going to come fight you anyways, type of thing. I don't know why Becky didn't just say that, but, Trish talks about, basically says all the same stuff, that she, even with her face looking like this, she's still going to be more beautiful than any woman on the WWE roster today. Maxine Dupree would like to speak to you, Trish. Then Becky challenges Zoe Stark to have a match with her, and Trish Stratus talks about how Zoe Stark isn't ready for that type of stuff yet. She's still living under the shadow of Trish Stratus. It's really weird. Trish Stratus is putting down Zoe Stark, but yet Zoe Stark's taking this as a compliment and is like agreeing with Trish Stratus. Like, that's a reason to turn on your partner right there, not agree with her.
She's insulted you, and she's too stupid to realize it.
Yeah. And then basically the match gets made like official. Obviously they do the typical trope in WWE, like, oh, I want to come down there and kick your ass type of thing, and then they're like, oh no, actually it's gonna be next week instead. Not this week, it's gonna be next week. So that's the typical.
No, it's next week.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. I thought the segment was relatively okay. Mainly because of Becky Lynch. Like, Becky Lynch is really, like, carrying the storyline. If Becky Lynch was not in the storyline, it would, like, suck. What did you think of this, though?
I thought the storyline sucked. It was cut and dry. It's the fucking same thing she was doing in 2005 when she was actually a good heel. Not now. All these years later when she can't be a heel and she's terrible at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where she fucking broke her nose. They fucking didn't show anything. They didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know how she did. It looked, I guess, legitimate.
I don't know.
Because look on her Instagram, unless if it's a really good makeup job, she has like a fucking spot on her nose, I guess. But like, where it would be broken. But it's just like, I'm so done with Trish. Like, it's not even funny how done I am with her.
Yeah, it's just time of the story.
It's not good, and they're not understanding it.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
And then, I did see the reports, not really reports, but a lot of fans on Instagram and stuff are making the SummerSlam cards and stuff. One of the matches they want, I'd be all for this match, is a triple threat women's tag title match where it would be Liv and Raquel versus Trish and Zoe versus Becky and Lita. That'd be a decent triple threat tag match. Because that would make a lot of sense. The only thing that sucked, though, is if they do that match, I mean, this Trish storyline's going to continue even further than, because it's not going to be done until Becky beats Trish one-on-one. So it's like, I want that match, but I don't want that match, because then the Trish storyline's going to continue even longer. So,
I want them to go one-on-one next week, and then it's over.
Yeah. They should have ended this at Night of Champions when it, like, wasn't working, type of thing. Because the real match that they should have done is Rhea versus Becky, especially at Money in the Bank. Like, it was in the UK. They're both roughly from the UK and all that type of stuff, and they didn't do that match. Like, that was a mistake. That was a huge mistake.
That was a massive mistake.
Yeah. Then Cody Rhodes has an interview, and he has one of those Mean Gene style interviews. This was Jackie Redmond's first interview on Raw. She brings out Cody Rhodes. Cody comes out, and he's very nice here. He welcomes Jackie Redmond with open arms. He gets the crowd to say, hi Jackie, and then he talks about how how he's been waiting for Brock Lesnar, and when they want to do the rematch, he said that he'll be ready and he's going to take the fight to Brock Lesnar. So I like this segment here. Thought it was pretty decent, and really no complaints about it, type of thing. And again, Cody was being very nice to Jackie here. He welcomed her to the Raw roster with open arms, and he got everyone to chant "Hi, Jackie." That's probably the biggest pop Jackie Redmond's ever gotten, like, in an entire broadcasting career. No athlete's gonna do this for Jackie Redmond. It's only Cody Rhodes that's doing this stuff. So what a nice guy Cody Rhodes is right here. It's so nice. What did you think of this?
I personally could have done without this. I feel like this was just filler, and as much as I love Cody, I love Cody's segments, I love his matches, but this feels like this is it's starting to become like a redundancy. He comes out at the beginning. Sometimes it's 2 promos in a night. I get it. You want to pop the crowd a little bit more, but like, I don't know. I'm kind of done with the fucking on the entrance rant Cody promo. I feel like it's starting to get a little bit redundant.
That's fair. Then we had a 6-person mixed tag match. It's Alpha Academy and Maxine Dupree versus the Viking Raiders and Valhalla. Pretty good mixed tag here. It's really a tag match in the beginning where it's just Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Otis is taking the heat now in the tag matches, which I think is interesting. Usually he'd be the hot tag guy, but it said Chad Gable's the hot tag guy, which I kind of like it that way because Chad Gable's actually he's got a really good hot tag. He does some really good moves in the match and stuff. And then eventually Maxine Dupree gets tagged in, and she comes in on fire onto Valhalla. She hits the hip toss. She does a really good kick to the head. And eventually, it's looking like at first that the Viking Raiders are going to pull out the win, but eventually, Maxine Dupree hits an Olympic-style roll onto Valhalla and gets the win. Really good victory roll and all that type of stuff. And Alpha Academy and Maxine Dupree win. I liked this a lot. I thought, it was a good way to end that storyline. And, if Valhalla was going to lose, I feel like there's no shame in losing to an Olympic-style role. I thought it was the best way for her to lose. Because she couldn't, outright lose to Maxine Dupree, because that wouldn't make any sense. So I like the way that she lost. What did you think?
I loved it. Maxine Dupree is an interesting character. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I didn't see her losing in that first match anyway, so kind of a little bit predictable in a way that they were going to win because it's her first match and they're kind of pushing her heavy right now. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yep. Then it shows aftermath of what's happened between Logan Paul and Ricochet. They apparently got into a brawl backstage after Money in the Bank. They had to get broken up. So Ricochet gets interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and then they don't see Jackie Redmond the rest of the night. I guess she got too nervous to interview anybody else. Maybe she didn't give Dom the candy that he wanted, so that's why she...
Ooh!
Yeah. But...
So apparently this was because that Spanish fly spot was supposed to be their, moment. And since it didn't go over that well, because of it being kind of botched and whatnot, it wasn't the spotlight moment they were looking for. So they did this backstage as a way to, I don't know, make up for it, I guess.
Yeah, but Ricochet basically challenges Logan Paul to meet him face-to-face on Raw the next week. Yeah, I'm okay with them doing, Ricochet versus Logan Paul. I think that's going to be a good showcase for Ricochet. However, I will say this. I think LA Knight should have been the person that feuded with him into SummerSlam. I think that would have been a more interesting storyline. He's clearly going to turn babyface too. LA Knight's basically a face now, and I think, he's probably going to fight for the U.S. title. I just think, because I still think he should have won Money in the Bank. But if he wasn't winning Money in the Bank, I think at least if he feuded with Logan Paul, it would keep him in the conversation for the main event scene. Because you can wait to do the Ricochet match. The Ricochet match doesn't need to happen right now. I get it's really popular. They're doing all the big moments, but the LA Knight Logan Paul thing, I think, is just really interesting. They should have done that feud instead, because the promos would have been awesome, and it would make SmackDown because SmackDown still must see anyways. But a lot of people are saying it's because of the Bloodline storyline. If you put LA Knight and Logan Paul in a storyline together, people would talk. Like, imagine LA Knight too. Would go on his podcast. Like he would get so much eyeballs on him if he went on a Logan Paul podcast. So I feel like LA Knight should have feuded with Logan Paul going into SummerSlam instead. But what did you think of this?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good, and that's a match I'm looking forward to because, like I've said before, Logan gets it. Logan understands it. Logan's good in the fucking ring. In such a short period of time, he's looked awesome. All of his matches are not just from the Miz, but must see.
Definitely.
And the fact that they're potentially gonna have a match, it's gonna be ridiculous.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be flippy, and it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be good for Ricochet too. Get a lot of eyeballs on Ricochet too. So.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I do like that they're not setting up to a lot of Logan Paul storylines the same. Like, where a wrestler will go on his podcast, and then that's the feud because, that would get very repetitive. I think the only one that got set up like on his podcast was probably the Roman Reigns storyline that got set up on his podcast. So, there's that. Then we had a Women's World Championship match. It was Rhea Ripley defending against Natalya. I thought they went about this in a perfect way. Natalya attacked Rhea Ripley from behind, completely beat the crap out of her, and she dominates the begins portions of this matchup. And then eventually Rhea Ripley mounts a come down, I guess, just because she's the heel, it wouldn't be a comeback. And she gets the hit on Natalya for a while, and they do some hope spots with Natalya where it looked like she could win, but it's not to be. Eventually, Rhea Ripley hits her with the Riptide and gets the win, but I thought they went about this the best way because the only way at this point that Natalya was going to be able to have a competitive match with Rhea Ripley was if she attacked her from behind and all that type of stuff, and Rhea Ripley went into the match injured. And I like the fact that they gave Natalya this thin. I don't think this means shit for Natalya. She's probably just going to go back to catering and wrestling in a main event now and all that type of stuff, but I thought for the first ever defense of the women's world title, this was a pretty damn good one. Afterwards, Rhea Ripley goes to lock Natalya in a submission hold, and then Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez run out and make the save and send Rhea Ripley packing. It looks like they're setting up Rhea versus Raquel for SummerSlam. And then imagine that they're going to do the women's tag title match on Raw or at some point between Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville versus Liv and Raquel, and Rhea will screw them over and cost them the belts, and that's how we'll get Rhea versus Raquel, which, I'm pretty into that match. They should have done that match at Money in the Bank, but I think Liv came back too early, or earlier than they thought, so that's why they did the women's tag match to get the belts off of Ronda and Shayna, since Ronda's doing the opt-out and all that type of stuff, so they're just going to do the match at SummerSlam instead, which I'm pretty damn fine with, just because I think that's if you can't get Becky at SummerSlam, I think Rhea versus Raquel is a pretty big match. Because if you remember their history in NXT, they were like a tag team on the house show circuit type of thing. So, what did you think of this Women's World title match right here?
I thought it was solid. It's a nice first title defense for Rhea, but yeah, nothing crazy.
There you go.
It's not gonna do like you said. It's not gonna do shit for Natty. So yeah, it was good. It was good enough.
And then what about them doing Rhea versus Raquel? Because it looks like that's the match that's being set up for SummerSlam.
That's that's gonna be an interesting match. I like that.
Then the Miz is backstage. He cuts this passionate promo talking about how he always had this fire underneath him. And he talks about how he's outlasted all of his partners that have turned on him, pretty much. They're all out of the company now and all that type of stuff while he's still here. And Tommaso Ciampa is just going to be another name. And he's going to prove it next week when he beats him up in a no disqualification match. I thought this was an excellent promo by The Miz. He cut a really good promo with passion and all that type of stuff. But what did you think of this?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was really, really, really good.
Then Rhea Ripley's backstage. Io Sky's back there, and she comes up and threatens as if she's going to cash in Money in the Bank on her. Again, I'm okay with Io Sky being on Raw because she is the Money in the Bank winner, so it makes sense for her to be on both shows. And I think Dom and Damian Priest come up, and they talk about how Rhea needs to stay out of Judgment Day business if they know what's good for her and all that type of stuff. And Damian and Dom talk about how we need to focus on Dom's match with Seth. We can't focus on that right now. So, what did you think of this stuff?
It was good. It was a good segment, to say the least.
Then we had Matt Riddle versus Fabian Eichner with Walter and Marcel Bartel. Good stuff. Matt Riddle won with the blow Derek. Afterwards, he gets beaten down by Imperium. And then Drew McIntyre makes the save. He lays out Marcel Bartel with the Claymore kick. And I'll just talk about this now, too. Then Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle are backstage. Matt Riddle is happy to see Drew McIntyre back on Raw. He's happy that somebody's had his back. And Drew McIntyre gets interviewed by Byron Saxton, and he wants to know what his plans are. And McIntyre said that he's just happy to be back and all that type of stuff. And Matt Riddle wants to team up with Drew next week to take down Imperium, and that match gets made official for next week. It's going to be Drew and Matt Riddle versus Imperium, which is going to be Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. Really tough to tell if Matt Riddle was on drugs here, just because he seemed like he was on drugs, but I don't know if it was also because he was shot full of adrenaline after having a match with Fabian Eichner. Because he did seem serious, like, during the match. Maybe, like, I don't know what's going on here. I can't really give a grade whether or not he was or wasn't on drugs, because he acted like the Matt Riddle you would see on drugs, not the serious Matt Riddle. He might have just been being annoying here, so it's really tough to tell. But yeah, I'm happy to see Drew McIntyre back. I think we're getting that triple threat match we recommended at SummerSlam, where it's going to be Walter versus Drew and Matt Riddle in a triple threat match, which I'd be all for. But yeah, I liked the stuff here. What did you think of this?
I thought it was good. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was good.
Do you think Matt Riddle was on drugs on Raw?
He could have been, but he's also having a baby with that porn star, so that's interesting.
I'm gonna say
he's trapped.
Yeah,
he's trapped forever now.
Yep. I'm gonna say I would just say that he wasn't, just to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's just being Matt Riddle here. So, and we don't like that either, but whatever. Can't really can't really knock the show down a letter grade or anything like that. So.
Oh, it's an F now just because he was on the show.
But then we had the main event, not the show, so you can stay right. You can stay.
Fuck, I'm leaving.
No, we need you. We need you. The show.
I'm leaving forever.
It's Dominic Mysterio with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley ringside versus Seth Rollins. Pretty good main event here. Very back and forth. Pretty cool to kind of see like the character progression of both guys, because when they faced off 3 years ago, Seth was the heel and Dom was the face, and now it's the complete opposite, which I think you're thinking that in real life, Chris. Like, yeah, it's definitely the opposite, all right. Like,
oh, it's definitely the opposite. Sounds like a fucking piece of shit.
But eventually, when Seth's about to win the match, Damian Priest attacks him, causes a disqualification, and he beats the crap out of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins does fight him off for a little bit, but then Dominic Mysterio completely cuts him off. And Damian Priest has a perfect opportunity to cash in the Money in the Bank contract. But Finn Balor attacks Seth Rollins. And Damian Priest is upset about this, because obviously he took away his chance to win the world title. And obviously Finn and Damian Priest get into an argument about this, because technically Damian Priest cost Finn the contract. And Dom sees that Seth is about to get away, so he goes after Seth Rollins, but he gets laid out with a pedigree onto the floor, and Seth quickly escapes with his world title, so that way he doesn't get cashed in on. But Seth got lucky on Monday. He's lucky that Finn Balor ended up being there, because if Finn Balor wasn't there, who knows what we could have been talking about, a new world champion right now. So, I liked this segment. I liked the match between Seth and Dominic, and I kind of like what they're doing with the Judgment Day like split type of thing. What did you think of this?
I liked it. I like the cash in tease. I like that the dissension within the family, so to speak. But yeah, we could have seen a new World Heavyweight Champion, or Seth could have taken a South Side of Heaven, or in a Razor's Edge, and still kicked out at one, and then hit them with a stomp and won. That's what I would have preferred.
Wow. Poor Damian Priest.
Burial.
But
The poor guy.
yeah, but yeah, and then that was Raw. Really, nothing else happened on Raw. They did like Raw talk, but there's nothing really to talk about there and stuff. I'll give Raw like a B. I thought it was a solid show. What really brings the show down is the women's tag team turmoil match and the Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch, and Zoe Stark like promo. Like that's like a thumbs in the middle, but anything with Trish Stratus. I am gonna give it not a B plus, but it's just barely a B plus because they actually stuck to the brand split this week. I'm really proud of them. You know, the only person that jumped that wasn't on the brand was Io Sky, but she's Money in the Bank contract holder, so that's okay. But I'm gonna give it not just a solid B, but a higher B. So it's like it's probably like it's like a 80. It's like just below a B plus because they stuck to the brand split, and that's awesome. I like it when they stick to brand splits. So, what did you think of Raw as a show?
I thought Raw as a whole was good. I give it a B. Just a solid B. And really, that tag team turmoil women's match really fucking drags the show down for me.
Yeah, definitely.
It would have been like a high, close to a B plus or a B plus if that woman's a tag team turmoil match was halfway decent. It would have been a B plus.
Yes.
It would have even counteracted the fact that Trish Stratus segment was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked the main event segment. I liked really, like, all the segments were good in the show. Matches were solid, besides obviously the tag team turmoil match. Gave Natty a little bit of a spotlight after breaking the Guinness Book of World Records 57 times, it looks like.
I know.
She got like fucking 7 awards or whatever the fuck it was. It was a lot.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little spotlight for her to show, hey, look, she is still here. She still can wrestle. But it's not going to make a difference anyways because she's going to go back to the house show loop and be a main event.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even fucking matter anyway. Or even be in catering. Who knows?
By the way, when they mentioned she's wrestled like the most, like, I think they said TV matches on WWE, I wonder if most of those matches were on main event.
Yeah, because she hasn't been on TV in like forever.
Yeah.
She's never on TV ever.
Does that even count as TV matches? I guess because main events really not even. I guess it's on TV some places, but it's on Hulu for the most part. You have to, you can't even watch main event like on TV really anymore. So,
yeah, I think it's on Hulu.
I guess they count that as TV nowadays and that type of stuff. So I don't know what's going on.
Hulu TV.
Yeah, but yeah, that was Raw. You want to take us through NXT? The July.
I'm being tortured, yes.
The 4th of July. Hey, you chose this, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. So NXT was on the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
This coming week, this past week. It ate on tape delay, obviously.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah, it says NXT opens up on tape delay.
Okay.
So I wonder if they taped it like both like earlier in the week, like Monday or whatever.
Yeah, kind of impressive.
Just to give them the holiday off.
Yeah, kind of impressive though, because there was no spoilers or anything like that out there, so that's why I didn't think it was on tape delay. So.
Well, they could have just done it like earlier in the afternoon, earlier in the morning, or earlier like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And gave them the whole like rest of the afternoon into the night off.
Yeah, that's nice of them. I'm proud of them for that. So
it's Booker T and Vic. I was going Vuk. Vic Jones.
Who's that?
Yeah, it's it's the same fucking commentary team they're probably gonna be stuck with for a long time.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, so the first match kicks off right away. Blair Davenport versus Roxanne Perez, and it's just a fucking brawl from the get go. lots of a near count out at the end on Roxanne Perez. She makes it in for the 9 count. Blair Davenport connects with the Falcon Arrow and only got a 2 count out of it. Looked like she was going to win it there, but it didn't. It didn't happen. And then Blair Davenport nails her with fucking 2 vicious knee strikes for the victory. That gives Blair. That's Blair Davenport's first win on the U.S. side of NXT.
Yeah, like a big win, I would say, because she had like a squash win against Danny Palmer not that long ago.
Oh yeah, that was her. That's like the second win, I think.
Yeah,
because this is only like a third NXT match stateside. Because didn't she appear with Miko and Mandy too, also in that triple threat?
She might have had a match like there. I think she faced
or 4. She's had less than 10 matches on stateside.
Yeah, and on NXT anyways, because obviously she
on stateside for the US. I mean, we can just call it NXT now because it's not NXT UK anymore. Yeah. But yeah, I think she's had less than 10 matches stateside.
Yeah. I thought this was good stuff though. I liked the aggression here that like Roxanne Perez showed and everything like that. The thing that sucked about the match is you can't even like see the match because because Roxanne Perez attacks Blair Davenport like during her entrance and the smoke was all around, so you couldn't even see the match for like the first 2 minutes of it and all that type of stuff. Like you could barely see what was going on. And then I liked that they did the near count out finish, and I liked that when Roxanne Perez kicked out of the Falcon Arrow the first time, I was really surprised about it, but I thought Blair Davenport winning was the right choice because she's still fairly early into an NXT run. I imagine there's gonna be a rematch. I would try to get that belt ASAP onto Blair Davenport. I would have her to be the one to dethrone Tiffany Stratton for the belt. And do
it's not happening. I have a feeling this is going to be a very long title reign for Miss Blandy.
I'm just telling you what I would do. But I would have.
I would either have it on Roxanne or I would have it on Blair or Cora Jade. Anyone else but fucking her.
Yeah, but I thought this was good stuff. I gave it 3 stars. I thought this was a good opener here. What would you give this match? It's a star rating.
So I give it 3. It's a really fucking good opener. Very physical opener.
By the way, I know we were talking about number of matches and stuff like that. Did you know Walter / the name he has now has had more matches in his career than Brock Lesnar has? I feel like there's a number out there, but I think Walter's had over 700 matches, and I think Brock's only had maybe 500. I mean, it does make sense though because Brock wrestles. I think Brock's wrestled part-time more than full-time. So
he was only full-time, I would say, for one full 03.
Yeah.
Was the only year that because he was half of 02 and half of 04.
Yeah.
So that's a year and a half to that's maybe 2 years total if you combined 03, 02 and 04.
Yeah.
And then 03 was his only full year.
And I think the number that I saw, I think they only counted WWE main. I don't think main roster matches, but any WWE match. I don't think they're counting Brock's OVW run, and I don't think they're counting obviously
No, because it wouldn't make any sense because if you're just counting regular main roster, that doesn't include NXT or UK.
Yeah. But I feel Walter...
He's had a lot of matches, though, because he's there every week.
Yeah, but I think Walter... They might be counting Walter's NXT and NXT UK matches, but I don't think they're counting, the matches outside of WWE, and I don't think they're counting Brock's OVW.
Oh, that wouldn't make any sense on the count, any matches outside of it. Because if you do that, then Brock's got a bunch of matches in Japan.
Yeah, so...
In between the UFC stint.
Yeah.
And after he left very... unceremoniously the first time with WWE.
Yeah, so
where he actually sued them. So
yeah, so
a lot of people don't know that he actually did sue them.
Yeah, but no, but that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool statistic right there that Walter has. So he's a contender. So
and yeah. So now we have Mackenzie Mitchell backstage, and she's interviewing the Creeds and Ivy Nile, and Ivy Nile is very nervous about them losing. This loser leads NXT match between the Schism. She says the Schism is very dangerous. and Tiffany Stratton comes in and says that she made Thea Hale tap out and whatnot. But then she goes on to say that if the Creeds lose, does that mean that you leave also too? I thought this segment was okay. I mean, it's again like it's to reiterate that there's a loser leaves NXT match on NXT tonight.
I mean, I won't give my thoughts too much on this, but the thing I didn't like is they're making it very clear that Ivy Nile is gonna stay at NXT, but the Creeds, if they lose, have to go to the main roster. I think that's a mistake. I think Ivy Nile should go with the Creeds. I don't think she needs the Creeds and the Creeds need her, but she's basically a part of Diamond Mine. I don't really know what more Ivy Nile can do in NXT, because if she's not winning the championship anytime soon, then she should be out of NXT if she's not going to win the belt or anything like that. And she'd be like a perfect opponent because, wherever the Creeds end up, if they did lose, in case you didn't know, because I imagine they would end up on SmackDown. Ivy Nile would be a perfect challenger for the not the WWE Women's Championship. So,
whatever the fuck it is nowadays.
Yeah.
Because they literally one has World and one doesn't.
Yeah. And
it's confusing. I think World's on Raw and non-World is on SmackDown.
Yeah. But as you can tell, I'm still getting used to I'm still calling the Smack.
I would prefer it be that way. Because it's so fucking confusing.
Yeah.
I think World is Raw and non-World is SmackDown.
It is that way, yeah.
It's just confusing as all hell.
Yeah.
Because it's literally the same words.
Yeah.
They just took out World. One doesn't have World and one does have World.
Yeah. But yeah, but this segment was pretty okay, I guess.
It was okay. Nothing special. But then we have Mustafa Ali versus Tyler Bate. This match is really good. Just really, really good match. The finish happens when Ali shoves Tyler Bate and he gets in position. It's a 450 splash on him for the win. And this match is really fucking good.
Yeah, this is great stuff.
But at the same time, I look at it like this: like, how much more losing can Tyler Bate do?
Yeah. Can
Tyler win a fucking match?
Yeah.
Of significance and of importance.
I don't think. Yeah,
it's just so annoying.
Since he's been in NXT, he hasn't won like a significant match at all. I don't think so. But I liked this though. I thought this match was great. They were slowly telling the storyline of Mustafa Ali turning heel, and I like the way he won, where he shoved Bate onto the top rope and he crotched him, and he clearly did that on purpose, type of thing. And I enjoyed that. Afterwards, too, he challenged Wes Lee for the NXT North American Championship at the Great American Bash. And yeah, if that match gets made official, because Wes, I think it's clearly official. Wes Lee could just say no. He might not. Yeah. He might not want to do the match. He might want to take the day off that day. But if the match does get made official, I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be a hell of a match. And if they play the storyline out right, I think that could be the time, because I think Mustafa Ali could be the perfect person to take the title off of Wes Lee. That could be like his official, like, full on heel turn type of thing.
Yeah,
and we can finally get like a heel turn for Mustafa Ali that's like good, because I feel like he has the capabilities to be an excellent heel. It's just that the booking around him and stuff just hasn't been very exciting. So we can get,
and this is the perfect opportunity too.
Yeah, definitely. And the fans love like Wes Lee too. Like they would boo the crap out of him if he turned heel.
Oh yeah, so, Wes Lee is insanely over.
Yeah, so I give the match like 4 stars. I thought it was great stuff. What did you think?
I give the match 4 stars too. It's great. This is a great match. It was a phenomenal match. It's just great chemistry between them.
Yeah. And
we're seeing the signs of a turn by Mustafa Ali.
The only thing, I think this match probably should have opened the show. I would have had this match open the show. It would have been.
I think that would have been better.
And put the Blair Davenport Roxanne Perez match here instead.
Yeah, I think that match would have been better suited to be the opener.
Yeah, I think
Because just as how Sean like books the show, it's like Wesley and whoever else opens the show, and it's a fucking banger of a match, and they go from there. Like I kind of like that. I kind of like that feel to it. I like how they do it that way.
yeah,
And I feel like that because they're associated with him, the match would have been killer to start off the show. Not that the Blair and Roxanne that match was really fucking good. It's just I would prefer that match
yeah,
be the opener over the Blair and Roxanne match.
yeah. There was a segment you missed. I think you're gonna get to it, but there's a certain lone wolf type of thing that's doing because this was before.
Yeah, I'll get to it. That's like I think that comes up soon.
Okay.
But Mackenzie Mitchell's backstage and she's talking with Joe Gacy, and he basically says that he wouldn't put the schism in this match if the dyad in this match if their hearts weren't fully in it, which is ironic because their hearts are fully in it at all. Period.
Not at all.
Because they want to leave. Which is shocking.
Well, maybe the hearts are in it because they're thinking, oh, we have a way to get out of here now. So.
But that Ava and Joe Gacy are confident that their men will win the tag team loser leaves NXT match, and then they will get rid of a big problem forever in NXT.
Yeah, when this happened at the time, I was thinking like, that the Grizzled Young Veterans were going to lose, and then, afterwards, Gacy was going to attack them, and that was going to be the big problem they got rid of, but there's more on that later, so.
Yeah.
The segment was okay, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I'm just going to say it now, because I can't find it on here, but we had a Baron Corbin segment, and he... By the way, now he's full-time in NXT.
Which I think is great.
At least for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And he basically said there's no more gimmicks, there's no more fun and games, there's no more King, there's no more Happy Corbin. I guess no more Lone Wolf because he kind of threw that jacket in there. That was the Lone Wolf jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And he threw that in there. And he was a very serious promo. It was a fucking awesome promo. Really just reestablishing Baron Corbin again as a fucking dominant beast in NXT. And I truly, truly loved it. It was great. It was a great video package.
Yeah, I feel like too, people are gonna be reminded of how good Baron Corbin truly was pre-main roster. Mainly when they got, I wouldn't say pre-main roster too. Like right after he got rid of the, I would say since he failed his cash in, because that's when he kind of went downhill. I would say.
Yes.
I think people are gonna be reminded how good Baron Corbin really is. I like the fact that he's staying in NXT. The only reason I could see Mustafa Ali not dethroning Wesley for the belt is I would complain if they had, they do more of these vignettes and stuff, and they have Baron Corbin dethroned. Because that would be awesome, too, if Baron Corbin dethroned him for the belt. Because I
could do that, yeah.
I don't know what's next for Baron Corbin in NXT. I don't know who he could feud with and all that type of stuff. There's names out there. They could go back to Ilya Dragunov route, considering the fact, that they have unfinished business and all that type of stuff.
There's never really a match, so that could be a big match going to whatever their NXT takeover would be, going into SummerSlam.
Yeah, so I'm pretty entertained by this. I like the fact that Baron Corbin's going to stay full time in NXT. I think that's a great idea. The only thing that sucks is it kind of sucks for Cameron Grimes because that was who he was feuding with before, and everything like that. But I feel like they can easily find something for Cameron Grimes to do on the main roster. So, it is what it is, but, Baron Corbin couldn't stay that gimmick. There had been talks for a while anyways that he was going to go back to some version of, the Lone Wolf gimmick, so I like the fact that that's going to happen now. So, there you go.
Next.
I would love it, by the way, too. I think this would be funny, by the way, because he's a free agent. If he was this gimmick in NXT, but he was, the other gimmick on the main roster, I think that'd be hilarious, type of thing. I think that'd be funny.
He was bum-ass Corbin.
Yeah. Because remember that...
With the stain on his shirt.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So Kalani Jordan versus Tatum Paxley next, and I'm not even going to fucking say anything, but Kalani Jordan won.
Mm-hmm.
She was accompanied to the ring by, you guessed it, Dana Brooke, randomly.
Yep.
A random Dana Brooke sighting for some reason, because we needed it done in NXT again, even though the crowd didn't like her to begin with. But yeah. Kalani Jordan was pretty impressive, but yeah. It is what it is. Um, and then Cora Jade comes out after the match and talks trash. Yeah, I don't even fucking care. I'm not even gonna go over the rest of it.
Yeah, this was bad.
It's just terrible.
Kalani Jordan looked good in the match, but the match still wasn't good just because, it just wasn't good. I give it like a star. I really didn't care about any of this. I think I said it in the chat. Tatum Paxley is the women's NXT jobber now because
She is.
yeah.
And she just go back to the house show circuit, pretend like she never existed.
I know. I like her theme song though. Her theme song's like really good. I don't know if you heard it, but it's like it's a really good song. You don't get to hear it for very long because she gets jobbed out so consistently. But it's on YouTube. You can.
Well, you can hear it if you go to fucking Florida because you can hear it on the house show circuit,
Yeah.
the full thing.
But you knew that that she was gonna lose. Not the Roxanne Perez. I don't know why today I'm mixing up Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. I'm thinking of the same. I keep calling Roxanne Perez Cora Jade, and I keep calling Cora Jade Roxanne Perez. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, they were a tag team until Sean got a fucking hard on for the fact that he loves to break up tag teams.
His first tag team he ever broke up. So.
And he got really erect after
Well,
that. He couldn't wait to do it again.
Not his first tag team he broke up. He broke up his own tag team way back.
He broke up the Rockers.
Yeah. If you ever noticed, by the way, I think for the most part, any tag team that he was in, he always is the one that breaks up the tag team. I think too.
That's so true.
Yeah, but anyhow, except DX, I guess that's the only one he didn't break up. But if you notice, by the way, too, when he joined NWO, I think he was there to basically kill it. He's like, yeah, the NWO's got to go. That's a team. I don't like.
He was there to inject what Vince McMahon called a lethal dose of poison.
Yeah, but no, this promo by Cora Jade was real bad. It was just not good. Like I feel like too, it's like Sean again just doubling down on the fact they had a chance to turn Dana heel and Cora face, and he didn't do that, and it's not good. So.
It's just awful.
I don't really think there's anything more we could say about Cora Jade as a heel anymore. Like, there's literally nothing. Like, she's gonna be a heel.
She is so incredibly fucking bland.
Yeah.
There's nothing. She's done literally everything she can as a heel, and Sean still refuses to turn her face.
Yeah. Not even that everything that she can as a heel, but it's just not working. Like, I think I've talked about it. She might be like the worst heel turn I think I've ever seen it in the business. There's been bad ones, but at least usually the turn is good, or usually usually when the turn's bad, they end up being good heels anyways. I'm trying to think of like an example, like Sami Zayn, like his turn was good, but like I think a lot of people had concerns like when he was gonna be a heel, but he ended up being like a great heel, honestly. Like no matter what. I'm trying. Johnny Gargano. I mean, a lot of people didn't love his heel one, but he was a better heel than a lot of people thought he would have been. So
yeah, he was actually a very good heel.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other people that turned heel that like. I guess the only other bad heel turn I could think that might be worse than Cora Jade is probably Goldberg's when he turned heel in WCW. Just because that was kind of like the last I mean, WCW was already going down, but that basically is like what really put the company like down even further type of thing. So, I guess I can name another bad heel turn. Technically, this is a heel turn, the Finger Poke of Doom, because Kevin Nash turned heel out of it technically. So, yeah, that might be the worst heel turn just because of what it meant for the business. So,
bad.
Yeah, but yeah, the Cora Jade one's real bad.
So we go to a Chase U segment next.
Yeah.
And they're pretty pumped that Andre Chase is back.
Uh-huh.
And he brings up Duke Hudson to give him some praise and to chant MVP, and that was awesome.
I love, by the way, because I feel like you're going to ignore this. Right when after he got his praise, he just tells Duke Hudson to take his seat. Like, that might be... I know what you're thinking there. That might not mean anything, but with how Sean Book's tag team breakups, that could be the reason they break up right there. That he helped
right there.
Yep.
Allowed. noisy
I wonder if
chalkboard that everyone knows.
I wonder if they'll hear it from the Chase U like school. By the way, like they're hearing that chalkboard like thin. But yeah, continue with the segment.
So he goes and sits back down. They ask about like if they're gonna have class from Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey, and they flip out and they swear at him.
Mm-hmm.
Duke Hudson did. That was fucking awesome. Maybe laugh hysterically. He says you won't be seeing Gulak and Dempsey unless they're receiving a Chase U size ass whooping.
Yep.
And they start going fucking insane, and they start chanting Chase U. Imagine if this is at an actual university. The campus police have been called instantly.
Oh, we know that for a fact. Yeah, we know that for a fact. Yeah. They also called Thea Hale the uncrowned NXT Women's Champion. Maybe they wouldn't be called instantly though, because they kind of know the antics to expect probably from the Chase U type of thing. By the way,
I don't know how she's the uncrowned NXT Women's Champion when she didn't fucking win.
Well, because she did make Tiffany Stratton tap out behind the left back, so that's why she's the uncrowned.
Doesn't count. It should have been in the real match.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't have to deal with Tiffany Stratton anymore.
Yeah. But I like this segment a lot. You know, I like Chase U. And I really enjoyed this. And yeah, what a bad school though. They had to go to school on 4th of July. Come on, it's a holiday. What are you going to school for? Like, come on. I wonder what are
you doing?
I wonder what they're gonna study. What would it did kind of look like a fuck off type of school day though. That they were just messing around. They didn't even teach any lessons.
It did too. It's a school that can get away with swearing.
Yeah,
I love that. I would love to be a part of that school.
Yeah. And like one of his students swore at another student, and Andre Chase accepted that too. Like
he accepted it. What a great teacher.
Yeah.
The teachable moment.
Yeah.
What a great teacher.
Yeah.
Fucking love him. What a fucking good fucking guy he is.
I wonder what
what a fucking great fucking teacher.
I wonder what's next on the study guide, because the Great American Bash is coming up, and I think they've already learned about that though, because they learned about it last year, because the Great American Bash was a thing last year. Are they just gonna learn about it again? Are they gonna do like a updated study guide for it? I don't know what's going on there. I wonder if they get like a, how like a free subscription to, Peacock Premium, because they need that like service to, learn all the WWE stuff type of thing. I wonder if they're allowed to learn about non-WWE things too. Like,
nope.
You don't think so?
Yes, WWE.
Imagine that should be a thing one day where they mention like the Crockett. Well, they can't mention the Crockett Cup, but they mention like a non-WWE thing, and not even Duke Hudson, Andre Chase should immediately like shut that shit down. Be like, they should put up like a thing at AEW, but they don't talk about it. It's like, we're not talking about. By the way, if Chase U was around during the Wednesday Night War, that totally would have been a segment too. By the way.
Oh, that would 100% been brought up.
Yeah. That was awesome. This is awesome. But this is an excellent school, and everybody should try to go to this. Like, there's a reason Thea Hale's at this school. Like, it's
because it's awesome.
Yeah. I wonder what Thea Hale's friends think of how she acts now too. Like, they probably like don't even want to be associated with her anymore.
She looks like she's on fucking like speed or something.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
strung out on some sort of drugs.
Yeah, I wonder what Nathan
She's like a fucking She's like a fucking pit bull.
I wonder what Nathan
or a Chihuahua.
I wonder what Nathan Frazier's thinking. I wonder if he's like thinking about breaking up with her.
He's regretting life.
I wonder if Shawn Michaels had to go.
She's like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, because Shawn Michaels, because we agreed couples count as tag teams, right? That's technically a tag team.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Shawn Michaels put her in this school to make her act this way, so that way Nathan Frazier will break up with Thea Hale, because he hates couples because they're technically a tag team. So
they're a tag team in real life. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, he hates tag.
You can't date within the company anymore. Not allowed.
Because even though Shawn's married, I don't know how he's dealing with that. But
I don't know either.
But yeah, continue.
I don't think he can.
Continue. Wait, let's get to the reason I forced you to sit down and watch the Raw Underground retro.
You forced me to go through that torture, and I will say this: NXT Underground automatically, like I said in the review, is of our retro wrestling review series of Raw Underground, the very first Raw Underground. I said that if they explain the fucking rules for NXT Underground, it will automatically be better. And guess what? It was. It was automatically better.
Yes, it was.
Because we knew what the fuck was going on.
Yes, we did.
We knew that you could win by submission or TKO.
Yes, we did.
Automatically better. Automatically.
Yep.
It's automatically better.
No Shane McMahon this time being like, oh, it's done. I kind of wish they did bring back Shane McMahon just for this, though. Like, he was like the referee or something.
What do you do? Be in crutches?
I don't know. He has like the pimp, like, cane or whatever, like that. Like,
it's done. Hit them both with it.
Like when Damon Kemp went out, he even waits. He even waits a minute to like say it's done, like he did in the first episode of Raw Underground. Like,
and he did.
Yeah, but yeah,
but this was better.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say this. It's not. I'm not gonna go over this at all. I'm just gonna tell you who wins because that's all you need to know. Just go back and watch the fucking match. It's really good.
It is.
Shockingly, it's the best Raw Underground ever in the history of this concept. NXT Underground. NXT Raw Underground. It's the best in the history of this godforsaken match.
It is.
Eddie Thorpe wins via ref stoppage TKO. And it was very physical. It was very brutal. I advise you to go back and watch it because it is a phenomenal match.
Yep.
It's not something I ever beat. I thought I would even ever think of myself even putting it in that ilk up there, but it's the best one by about 7,050 billion miles.
Yep.
And it was awesome. I was watching it and I was genuinely like, wow, this is a million times better than it did on the main roster.
Yeah, definitely.
How come? Oh, wait a minute, because we knew what the fuck the rules were. So we knew that you could win by submission. We knew you could win by total knockout. And it made it like, okay, this is automatically better.
Yeah.
And Eddie Thorpe won, which made it even better because Damien Kemp has now been pushed back to, you guessed it, the house show circuit.
He's the male NXT jobber, so.
But this match was great. It really was a great showcase for Eddie Thorpe. It was also, I mean, now granted too, Damon Kemp looked awesome in this match too. Also,
yeah, he did.
Really plays up to his strengths, being like an amateur wrestler and all that stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this match was really good. I'd give it like 3.5. I mean, the only thing I would give it like 3 3/4. But what knocked it down is this is like Damon Kemp just can't fucking buy a win. He's the male NXT job, but I'm just sick of it. Like, this dude should be
really is.
This dude should be pushed a lot better. They should have gone with your idea because Gable Stevenson was ringside, and he should have turned. The one time, by the way, that someone could have turned on somebody, and it would have made sense. Shawn didn't book it. They should have had Gable Stevenson turn on Eddie Thorpe and form Damon Kemp and Gable Stevenson as a tag team. But you know why Shawn wasn't doing that? Because then they would have had to put a tag team together, and they would have,
because he hates siblings.
Yeah. But
this was really good. And then after the match, this is probably the best that Gable's ever looked in WWE.
Yeah.
Because his stuff that he was hitting at WrestleMania last year I think it was.
It was, yeah.
It did not. I mean, I wasn't gonna say it's awful, but it didn't look that great. It looked very stiff. Whereas like this looked like his throws and stuff. They looked crisp.
Yeah.
They looked really good. It seems like he was really putting in some training this time. It really looked like it.
Yeah.
First it was Cal Dixon.
It was.
Who, by the fucking way, he's on The Bachelor. He's on The Bachelor. Bachelorette? What the fuck the show's called?
Oh, really?
Yep. He's on the. I think it's The Bachelorette.
Surprised he's not.
Yeah.
Surprised they're not translating that to NXT. Well, you know.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't know because
yeah,
they don't talk about it ever. But he just fucking annihilates him because he tried to like give him props. He tried to give Gable props, and Gable just like fucking beat the piss out of him.
Yeah,
because he kept poking him for some reason. That's what they thought was a good idea.
Yeah.
And then Tavian Heights got the shit beaten out of him too. And then he celebrates.
No, he doesn't. Then he beats up Miles Bourne, and then there's this big guy that's out there, and he like completely wipes him out too.
Yeah.
I don't know the big guy's name.
It was 3 people that were there, and one of them was Tavion Heights, and like you said, like Miles Bourne. I don't know who the other person was though.
Yeah, they never said.
But they stand tall. The faces stand tall, and this is probably the last time you're going to see Gable Steveson for an extremely long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's training for the Olympics.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're not going to see him for a very, very long time.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. Like, I will say this is a little bit. This is probably one of those signings that like they should have waited on it because it hasn't been worth the investment as of right now, just because he hasn't done anything like in the ring and all that type of stuff. But you know, the guy's still young, I guess. But it's like, you know, I just think, you know, they should have had the investment be stuck on. But whatever.
Yeah, like I agree with that too. Yeah.
I remember when he was drafted to Raw too. It didn't even make sense too because he wasn't even on the roster. Like they had someone get.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He just signed.
Yeah, and then
I don't even think he was under a contract. I think he was still under like the next in line, that the NIL deal type of thing.
Yeah, so it's weird.
Because he was thinking about going back to college for his last, his last amateur, his senior season.
And then WWE came calling, was like, "What's college, pal? You're coming with us."
But it didn't make any sense though, because when after his junior year, he left his wrestling boots in the middle of the mat at Minnesota. Like he left him there. That's basically saying he was like done. And then there was rumors that he would come back for his senior season, which again, like it didn't really make any sense. He's already proved all he can. He's been a dominant amateur wrestler in college. So like, what's there left to prove?
I don't know.
But now he's going to be. I think there's a wrestling in the Olympics. I think is what he's training for.
Yeah.
And I hope he wins gold again. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that'd be good.
He is Olympic gold medalist after all, too. Also.
Yeah. Not with a broken neck, though. Not with a broken neck.
No. He has to break his neck, and then that would be equivalent to getting gold.
Yeah.
But next we get a promo from Carmelo and Trick, and they're addressing Judgment Day, and he said that he appreciates Finn Balor for sending Rhea Ripley down, but she didn't do much. She didn't really say much, but he says he's also worried that he should tread lightly around Damian Priest because Damian could cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Carmelo and for to potentially win the NXT Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And he lays down the challenge. Carmelo does, and he challenges and invites all members of the Judgment Day, and includes that little pissant, little fucking loser, crappy ass son Dominic Mysterio, all to come down to NXT. And they will be, and Carmelo and Tripp basically say that they're the judge, jury, and executioners of NXT. And that will be their Judgment Day. This segment was great.
I liked it a lot.
Loved it. It was so fucking good. I am fucking pumped that Judgment Day is going to be on NXT next week. Like, that is fucking awesome. It's, again, Seth brought it to almost 1 million. Can Finn do it?
Yeah, I think he can. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to say
I love this involvement from the main roster down there. Like, get these fucking guys down there because you want to boost your ratings. Put Seth on there. Put Finn in there.
Yeah.
Like, get the fucking big stars down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked this a lot. I can't believe you're actually looking forward to seeing Judgment Day. You realize this means you're looking forward to seeing Dominic Mysterio? He's in the Judgment Day.
Did I say I was looking forward to seeing Finn and Damian? But
you said Judgment Day.
There's no Dominic in that.
All right. I do kind of.
There's no Dominic.
I would like it.
He's dead to me. He doesn't exist.
You know, I would like. They're clearly going to probably do Finn versus Carmelo for the belt at the Great American Bash. I think that makes a lot of sense to do that. I like the fact that, because again, they don't have a heel at the moment to challenge Carmelo Hayes, which you could say that's a big problem right now for NXT, that Sean's not building up any heels to challenge Carmelo, like on his brand, to challenge for the belt. Like, they have to send the main roster guys down there to do it. That's a problem right there. It
is a problem, but again, if it boosts the ratings, what do they care?
I'm not saying. Why not do both? Why not build the heels up as you're boosting the ratings at the same time? Type of thing.
Yeah, it's like if it like I'm on your side of that where it's they should build up some heels and not Braun Breaker because he's pretty much done everything in NXT at this point. He shouldn't even be on NXT anymore. But build up some heels like Dijak.
Yeah.
Would be really good challenger. I think you could really do a big guy, small guy dynamic, and Dijak works really well with smaller talent too. Also,
unfortunately, I have to say, but Joe Gacy would be one. I guess. I just know the feud would.
I guess you could do that.
It's just that I wouldn't do that at like a special. That should be like on NXT itself, like a big NXT.
Yeah,
because that's that feud.
Or you could have Ali beat Wesley, and then Wesley challenges Carmelo for the title.
Yeah, face versus face match. That'd be awesome.
Face versus face, you could do that.
No one does.
But yeah, like or Ali.
Yeah.
Champion versus champion. If Ali wins the title and turns heel, you do champion versus champion.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, I like
you could do like stuff like that.
But I like this segment here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when Judgment Day shows up.
Yeah, I am too. Unfortunately,
though, you're gonna be breaking it down. We had a kick-ass segment, then we probably had the worst segment in the entire night. I don't even know. I'm glad you're doing the notes. I don't even know what I'm so confused what happened here.
So Jason Jane came out for her match against Lyra Valkyria first,
okay.
And then they go right to a segment with Tony D's in jail with Stax, and I'm just gonna summarize it because it's like he basically Tony D didn't want Stax to work with Joe Coffey at all because they're basically he agreed to a match with Joe Coffey where if Dax won, Tony D would be out of jail, but if Joe Coffey wins, that means Tony D would have to go on trial and go to jail for a very long time. But for some fucking unknown reason, Tony D was very fucking angry at the fact that he was potentially going to get out of jail. What does he like being in jail?
I don't.
Like, no one likes being in jail. Like, come on. Like, that was so dumb. He got really mad at Stax for making that match, and I'm like, why are you mad? He's fighting for your freedom, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of you being so mad about that?
Yeah. This was bad. This is a really confusing segment. Not even just that, but like again, no tag team apparently can get along in NXT anymore. Because Sean hates tag teams. Sean really ruined the storyline. Like he had the storyline actually pretty perfect up until they did the stupid shit where they made it seem like that Stash was going to be the rat type of thing. Now they're doing the stupid thing, where Stash is working with them now and all that type of stuff. Like,
if I fucking swear to God, if they have Stax lose, Tony D's gimmick's over.
Yeah, it is.
It's done. It's dead. Because his gimmick is super fucking interesting. He's really over with the NXT crowd. The mob kind of gimmick is working really well for him. The crowd's loving him. They're loving Stax. And if Stax loses, it just doesn't even make any sense. Like,
yeah.
Why would Stax lose and then they kill off a good character?
The only reason, like, unless they're going to do a trial segment because they think that will get over and stuff like that, but it wouldn't even make sense if he goes to trial. Like, he has to...
But he wouldn't... if he's going to trial, he's going to jail.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no him walking free.
Yeah, so... the only reason I could see Stax losing is, Sean, but he likes to end gimmicks that are over sometimes. It's like, yep, we want to end this gimmick. It's too over. It's too popular.
Way too over.
Yep. Because you learn from the best, Vince McMahon. Kill a gimmick that's over.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like, I hope Stax wins. They still kind of screwed up the storyline. Like, it should have been... like Stax shouldn't even be working with Joe Coffey, like at all, type of thing. Like it doesn't even.
It should be like somewhere like where he forced Joe Coffey to like give Tony D his freedom.
Yeah.
Instead, like he's working with Joe Coffey.
Yeah.
And he has to face him and he has to win for Tony D to get out.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so convoluted. It's like, why not just beat the living piss
Yeah.
out of Joe Coffey? Like they've done it before. Like, show a segment where like they're torturing him.
Yeah.
And where Stax is torturing him, and he confesses to being like
The rat.
to lying about Tony D and whatnot, and that's on camera and on video. And then Stax brings that to the police department, and then they show like them opening up Tony D's cell, and Tony D walks out, and they walk out together.
That would have been awesome.
And they say, okay, now let's go get the rest of Gallus.
Yo.
That would be fucking sick.
But no, they.
But like instead, they gotta do this stupid shit.
Yeah. Sean ruined the storyline.
I have a strong feeling that Stax is gonna lose.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling that's gonna happen.
Because they still haven't even wrapped up the fact where they said he's the rat. Like, I don't. They really didn't make it.
They completely glossed over that.
Yeah. Like, you could have just said you did say it was a ruse type of thing. It didn't even. It's like they dropped that part of the storyline. It's like they didn't even happen. Like,
because he said he didn't want to be because Stax said he didn't want to be the underboss anymore.
yeah.
He wanted to be the boss.
Like, what happened? Did they like film 2 segments at once and like? I don't know what happened. Like, it's like they
because he played that. Because Joe Gacy played that for Tony D.
Yeah.
And Tony D was pissed, and then the next week it was like, oh, by the way, I'm fighting for your freedom.
Like, what happened?
It's what happened to he wanted to be the fucking the boss. What happened to that?
Yeah. Tony D didn't even ask him about it or anything like that too. It's like
no, it wasn't even brought up again. I wonder if that was deleted scenes that wasn't meant to be played.
Like, did they play the raw footage? Like, Sean was like, "Shit, we played the raw footage" type of thing. Like, all right, we'll just push it to the.
Did they play the wrong audio? Did they tape 2 audios for 2 different outcomes? They played the wrong audio.
And Sean was just like, "Okay, we'll just air what we meant to air next week, and let's just hope they realize it was a mistake and nobody notices." Oh, we noticed, Sean. We noticed.
We fucking noticed it, all right.
But it's like, yeah.
We're not stupid.
But it's like, yeah.
That they completely forgot that segment happened that we played.
They didn't.
Where Stax admitted that he didn't want to be the underboss anymore, and was alluding to the fact that he put Tony D in jail.
It wasn't even like anything.
Or he.
And it's not like you could say like maybe Joe Coffey edited it and all that stuff. That was unedited too. It didn't sound like they took it out of context. It sounded like that was fully like unedited too. By the way, too. Like.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
So, like, it's like they rushed that segment to where Stax was like, gonna be, I don't know, implemented in the fact that he wanted, I guess, Tony to be in jail.
Yeah.
Because then he would take over the family.
And again, yeah.
But then at the same time, he takes over the family. Who the fuck is his underboss? Because there's nobody else.
Yeah. And I think the thing I don't get too is like, why, again, I think I asked this in the chat, but it's a rhetorical question because we know like no tag team in NXT can get along at all. Like, every tag team's got to fight each other. Every tag team's got to, like, have gripes with each other. What?
Yeah, we just witnessed fucking 3 tag teams face each other in singles matches for 3 straight weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Or two weeks in a row, because the other 2 faced each other in a fucking pointless, useless mixed tag match that everyone forgot about.
Yeah. It's already dropped.
Do you notice how they immediately dropped that storyline right after that mixed tag?
Yeah. And
he
where Briggs and Jensen been since then? Off TV.
And Jensen like apologized for going down that road.
Yeah.
Dude, you were clear as day the cuck, and we knew it.
Yeah. But yeah.
It was so dumb. It lasted like 2 weeks after that. It was done.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have the mixed tag. Okay, we have the mixed tag. Okay, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah.
All right, I guess it's over now.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Never to be brought up ever again.
Yeah.
Because it was fucking awful.
And And that storyline wasn't. By the way, I like how we mentioned this. Like that storyline went on for months too. Like it was what a waste of time that storyline was. Like
We can literally summarize that thing in fucking 5 minutes.
but that storyline went on for like months.
It went on for like 2 months.
No, it went on
And
for
it was
like
2 months of my life that I think was it 2?
because it started.
Might have been 3.
It started before deadline. It was in December because you remember the whole stint started because Kiana James wanted to buy Fallon Henley's bow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
and then they changed. And then
that's like 4 or 5 months, something like that.
yeah.
Actually, that happened in the fall, where she wanted to buy the bar.
No, it's December. Oh, it might have been the fall because it might have been like November.
The fall where it started up, and then they forgot about it.
Yeah, you might.
And then like a couple months later, they brought it back up again.
Yeah. Notice that.
So that's been going on like September, October.
Notice the bar's not talked about anymore. That's not.
Nope.
That, Fallon Henley's
It's very well secured.
Fallon Henley's been off TV ever since that storyline pretty much has happened. She has no feuds, no storylines. So.
But anyway, next is the Lyra Valkyria versus JC Jane match, and it's over before you can fucking blink an eye.
Mm-hmm.
Lyra Valkyria won. Don't nobody cares. And then after the match, Lyra stood tall.
No, JC James stood tall. She beat the shit out of her after the match.
Oh yeah, she beat her up. Yeah, I don't get. See, I honestly forgot who did what because I don't care.
Good thing you wrote.
I just
Yeah.
do not fucking care.
By the way, you realize Sean doesn't know how to have a feud just have one match. Like every feud has to have like multiple matches in it. Like, and the face has already won. By the way, too, the face won already. Like the feud's over.
Yeah.
Feud's done. That happened. If you notice, it's the same that's going on with Gigi Dolan and Kiana James. Gigi Dolan beat Kiana James. The feud continues. Like, why is the feud? Why is the feud continuing? There's no reason for these feuds to continue. Like,
no point.
By the way, good thing.
Just terrible.
Good thing you're doing the notes because I completely got Lyra Valkyria's name when I wrote Ava Valkyria.
It's not even close.
Yeah, not even close. I give this match like 2 stars. It was just filler. It was a nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing. It literally they didn't care about it at all because they had JC come out first.
Yep.
They went to commercial break. They came back and did the Tony D segment.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to stand in the fucking ring for I don't know how long and watch that segment on the fucking jumbotron.
Well, if you said it aired on a tape delay, they probably just did the match and then. But yeah, if it was live, that would have been the case. Yes.
She would have to stand out there and watch that entire 5-minute segment before she could actually wrestle her match.
I wonder if she was confused watching that segment too. Like I'd be like confused, like what the fuck was that? Like.
I would be like, what is going on? I want to wrestle! Hurry up!
Well, unless she didn't come to... I don't think she wants to wrestle, though, because the match ended really quickly. By the way, we should mention this, too.
Because
you forgot to mention this. So she hits... Lyra Valkyria, too, hits the spinning back kick, wins the match. Immediate no-sell by JC Jane of the... She laid him up. It was an immediate no-sell. Like...
No wonder why she was the one that stood tall, because she got up within 14 seconds after the fucking...
That's probably what...
After the 3 count.
You probably were thinking it was like a...
Whoop, here I am, I'm the Undertaker.
Well, she did dress up as the Undertaker, I think, once. So, yeah, but that's probably why you thought it was like a roll-up or something. No, it was a spinning kick, but she just no-sold it right afterwards. That's probably like, yeah, that's probably why that, like, yeah, this happened. Like, yeah. Those were two bad segments in a row right there, by the way.
I mean, the jail segment wasn't bad. It just like was
confusing.
Confusing more than anything. Whereas that was just fucking awful.
Yeah. We got a good segment depending on your taste though.
So Noam Dar is backstage with his crew, and he's taking pictures with the Heritage Cup.
Yeah.
And he said he's going crazy without the Heritage Cup. And he says that he has a Supernova session segment planned for next week. But he doesn't know if he wants to do it with without the Heritage Cup.
I liked this.
Then the three others, and then the rest of the groups, they had to do something about it. And they have to drag Noam Dar away from the Heritage Cup, and he keeps saying, "I want 5 more minutes with it," and it kills me. I fucking love it. Noam Dar's wicked funny. I love it.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
It was really good. I just love that image of him just getting dragged away.
Yeah. I like this a lot. Yeah, I think this is a great. Well,
I would have what I would have done was to make it even kind of funnier. Was have them drag him by the legs.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Out of the shot as he's holding on to onto the table where the Heritage Cup is.
Yeah.
I need 5 more minutes.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
that's so fucking funny.
I'm looking forward to the the Nova Roller sessions or whatever it's called. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, Supernova sessions.
Yeah, but yeah, this was awesome. I guess he's not injured anymore, which is weird because it's just weird. I still don't know if that injury was a kayfabe or what because he
I don't know.
He didn't
because it hasn't been reported at all.
He didn't.
So I would have to assume it's a kayfabe injury, just to keep the heat on him.
Yeah.
And he could cheat in one of the matches or something if it's a Heritage Cup or whatever.
But yeah, I'm looking.
But again, with his history, I don't know because he's definitely been hurt a lot over the past number of years.
But I liked this segment. Then we get a bad segment.
This is very bad. Kiana James at her office. I don't know why she's at an office. She's not really an accountant. I don't know why they have to have her in an office.
It's also 4th of July. 4th of July, too.
Well, she must be a terrible boss then, because she's fucking...
Yeah. Well, maybe...
Making her employees work on 4th of July. What a piece of crap.
Maybe she's just the only... Maybe she's the only one working.
And she's bragging and laughing to someone about how she covered Gigi Dolan and Pate last week, and then basically says, she can't run from her past.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know why this is the feud. I don't know why they're talking about her past again. This is the second straight fucking feud, but they have to include the fact that she was in an abusive household.
Yep.
Let me guess. Her brother's going to be brought up with the fact that she couldn't save her brother from her abusive
mom. Oh,
yeah, Again, rinse and fucking repeat from the JC James storyline.
Yep.
Rinse and fucking repeat. Because you know why? They don't know what the fuck to do. They don't know what the fuck to do with Gigi Dolan, so they're putting in this stupid fucking feud right now.
Yep.
Go after the fucking championship. You are one of those popular women on the fucking roster. Go after Tiffany Stratton, for fuck's sake.
I know.
Not fucking lower fucking tier feuds. You're not a fucking lower card wrestler. You are a main event talent on this fucking brand.
Yeah.
You are one of the best on the roster. Period. There's no fucking reason why she should be in lower card feuds.
Yeah, it's
lower level feuds with fucking jobbers.
Yeah.
Like Kiana James. This is this segment should be with someone like fucking Kalani James, or the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
And Dana Brooke. That's what that should be. Not this.
I know, yeah.
This is not what Gigi should be doing at fucking all. It's fucking pathetic.
Yeah, this is terrible.
She's way too talented to be in a feud with someone who absolutely fucking sucks.
She's really bad.
She's fucking awful.
Yeah.
This is not how you showcase Gigi Dolan. How you showcase her is by having her in a championship feud with Tiffany Stratton, having her fucking win.
Yeah.
Novelty idea.
I mean, at the moment, I'm okay with her not being in that storyline, because if Tiffany Stratton's getting a long title reign, if Gigi Dolan goes into that feud right now, she's going to lose that feud. So, but there's other things that Gigi Dolan could do that doesn't involve the championship. She could feud with, I guess, Blair Depp. That's the problem, too. There's no other credible woman, because Sean books them all like shit, too.
Yeah. Just fucking awful.
Yeah. I mean, Gigi Dolan should just go to the main roster at this point.
At this point, she could fucking... if she's doing fuck all down in NXT.
Yeah. Her and Rhea Ripley or her and
Uh,
Asuka would be a killer feud.
Oh yeah, for
They're
sure.
both heels too.
Like how it was supposed to be when JC and Gigi were originally brought up the main roster, and they had that one-off match.
Yep. I mean, I know it's everyone's saying, well, this is Mandy's fault because they had to break up Toxic Attraction. It's not Mandy's fault. Well, it is Mandy's fault, but Sean wanted to break. Knowing Sean's booking, he was going to probably break up Toxic Attraction anyways. So
Because Mandy was going to go to the main roster.
yeah,
Mandy was going to the main roster, and they were going to stay down at NXT.
yeah.
And
No, they probably would have all gone up.
no, I think I think the plan was for Mandy to go up and for them to stay down.
Yeah, that's just.
So they were going to break up the stable anyway.
So we have to go back. Wait a minute. So if Mandy was going up to the main roster, so that's even more of a stupid reason she threw her career away. She was literally gonna go.
Yeah, because she fucking shows to get naked, but says she doesn't get naked online.
Yeah.
For money. And then she gets really, 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 really desperate and posts slutty pictures online.
But like if she was going to the main roster, like why'd you throw your career away if you were going to the main roster?
Because she's not very smart.
Yeah. Like did she not? Like she had to have known she was going to the main roster soon, right? Right? Like
that had been the rumor for like months. That once she lost the title, she was going to the main roster.
Yeah. She had to have known she was losing the belt soon, like right? Did she not?
She had to have. Her fucking title run was getting fucking insanely bland.
I don't.
It was just the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, I don't. I like how we started. I like how we started that rant on the Kiana James Gigi Dolan feud, and we went back to Mandy. It all comes back to Mandy.
Well, again, Gigi ties back into Mandy,
Yeah.
so.
But yeah, this was bad.
Next, we had a fantastic fucking segment.
That was awesome.
Where Von Wagner just beats the living shit out of Javier Bernal.
Yeah!
Just beats the living shit out of him.
This is awesome.
The poor guy can't catch a break. Von, by the way, over as a motherfucker in this beatdown.
Yeah.
You would think this is a monster heel coming out to go destroy a fucking hapless babyface. Nope. This is monster babyface Von Wagner coming out and destroying a heel.
Yeah.
So Von goes to the powerbomb originally, and Mr. Stone talks him out of it, saying he doesn't need to do this, and they should leave and stuff like this. He's trying to calm him down because for some reason he's very angry, and he doesn't listen, and he powerbombs the fuck out of him he powerbombs the fuck out of Javier Bernal through the table.
Yeah.
And the fucking crowd went fucking ballistic.
Yeah.
That was fucking insane.
Yeah.
And of course, Mr. Stone, not very happy, very unpleased with the fact that Von Wagner did not listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
And they leave, and that's the end of the segment. That was fucking great.
Yeah, this ruled. Like, I can't believe they did it, but they got Von Wagner over. I can't believe it. Like, I never thought this guy would get over, but he has.
He got over prior to that segment. He was starting to get over.
Yeah.
But that segment where he talked about his childhood and everything, and really got the sympathy involved in there, which no child should go through what he went through. That's just really really heartbreaking. But it got him over even more.
Yeah.
And he's not bad on the mic as he was in the beginning.
Yep.
He's actually vastly improved. He's just very soft spoken.
Mm-hmm. Now we know why.
Yeah, but he's very soft spoken. But like when he cuts it in menacing promo, it's it's scary looking.
Yeah.
But I love the dynamic between him and Mr. Stone. I think he's going to go on a few more rampages, and maybe it's the end of those two, because originally it was the end of those two after Vaughn lost, and then they kind of got back together, and they've been back together since then.
I could see like something happening where he'll go on these rampages. I could see something happening where like Mr. Stone gets like a new client and he joins up with that client and turns on Von Wagner and everything like that.
Oh, I could see that too, like another big guy or something. Yeah. Like if he went Tabakato, Like if he was to go that
Or
way,
Dijak, because they did that segment a few weeks ago.
yeah,
I don't think Dijak
Dijak,
doesn't.
that would have been perfect too.
I mean, Dijak doesn't need him, but like,
I think he could do that because I think he can control Dijak, and like the way he cannot control Von Wagner anymore.
yeah. I think at some point, you need to get like the belt on like a heel, like a really hateable heel, and have him feud with Von Wagner for the championship. This is why I wish Grayson Waller.
But someone doesn't like.
Yeah, that's why I wish Grayson Waller was still there in a sense, just because he'd be perfect for Von Wagner to take the belt off of too.
Although, just like you could do either Dijak or Dabakato, win the belt,
Yeah,
and then have him destroy or if you do like Dabakato, like have him like fucking obliterate Wesley and write him off TV for like a month, or do like something like that where it's like someone who's super fucking over that the crowd likes to get them to get him nuclear heat with the NXT crowd.
yeah.
Like it has to be like a Wesley or like an Ilya Dragunov.
Yes.
Or someone like
Baron
that.
Baron Corbin.
Who's like the upper echelon of top tier Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah. Baron Corbin would be.
He faced Dabakato faces Carmelo Hayes in a shock win. Dabakato wins, and he beats the living shit out of Carmelo Hayes and writes him off TV for a month or so.
Yeah.
Like something like that.
Yeah.
Like to get them hate, to get them heat. Like go after the guys that they like.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because it could get Dabakato over as a heel or Dijak over as a monster heel. And who's here to save the day?
Von Wagner.
Von Wagner. Boom, right there. People are already loving Von. And I'm pretty sure they'd like, or fucking Baron Corbin. That's another one too.
Yeah.
You can put the title on Corbin, have Corbin feud with Von Wagner. Makes sense.
Yep.
And everyone can hate Baron. Baron Corbin's a very easily hateable person.
Yes, he is.
You could easily have Von take the belt from Baron Corbin. Easily. After, again, like, have him face Carmelo and have him fucking have Baron Corbin win, but like in dominant fashion.
Yeah.
Like almost kind of like Brock Lesnar Cena was.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
To get Baron Corbin over as a monster heel. And he just, after the match, he just keeps beating the crap out of Carmelo Hayes. Puts him through a table at ringside and whatnot. And then Von Wagner comes out and makes the save.
I like that.
And then it's like, okay, like pick on someone your own size type of thing. Like big man, eye to eye, and then Corbin just walks away.
Yeah.
Like that, instantly like that gets fucking.
It would, yeah.
Von Wagner as in a monster babyface kind of light. Like that would make sense.
Yeah, I would like that a lot.
Like you got to put him up against someone that like who's at the same height as him, or a little bit taller.
Yeah, and hateable.
Because and hateable. Exactly. That would make the most sense to get him over and get him. And Corbin doesn't even have to hold the title for a long time either.
No, you can just do it from like, you know.
You can hold him for like a month or something like that. Like,
yeah.
And have him do it at like a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like a premium live event.
I would say like, because typically how they do this, they do like an NXT special, like, say they do one in February, I would have them win the belt in like February, and like, stand and deliver WrestleMania weekend, that's when you do the match. Because at WrestleMania weekend, stand and NXT special would send a statement.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It'd be, you know.
That would get him over huge.
Yeah. It'll be all.
Have Corbin win in February, write him off.
Yeah.
Write Carmelo Hayes
to go to the main
entirely.
Probably go to the main roster.
Go to the main roster. And have Von and Baron feud at Stand and Deliver, like you said.
Yeah.
Von wins the belt. Corbin goes back to the main roster.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And then they can have like that feud on the main roster between Corbin and Hayes.
Yep.
Makes sense. Yeah. You can further that story, and I know they're not going to do it, but like you can have it be like them talking about like, oh, like Melo was taken out by Corbin at the February pay-per-view or whatever it's called, whatever they want to call it, and he beat him up so bad that he had this type of injury, and needed time off.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wrote him off. Not like say that, but like something similar to that. Like
Yeah.
he was out with a broken arm for like months, like kayfabe storyline was.
Yeah, I'd like that.
And then they both go to the main roster, and that's your feud, like for the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense.
Yeah, it would. I mean, you want to get...
But I know Shawn Michaels won't do that.
Triple H would, but Shawn wouldn't.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, we get the fucking Bronco, Nima, and Lucian Price feud. No. That wouldn't make any sense because they're not feuding because they're tag team.
Well, give it a month.
Yeah, I forgot. It's Shawn.
Yeah.
He is obsessed with breaking up tag teams. They, it's basically another one of their video packages of saying that they're coming soon.
They're coming next week, actually.
Next week, yeah. Next week, not soon. Next week, yeah. Which is Tuesday, but I'll see how they do on the show. Apparently, they were pretty impressive on the live event loop. Yeah. So
they've been good on Level Up too.
Oh, I forgot to say this too. Javier Bernal, right with his girlfriend, right to the fucking house show loop.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like though Damon Kemp's more the NXT male jobber than Javier Bernal because Damon Kemp's at least on like weekly and stuff. Like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then next is the main event of the evening. It's the loser leaves NXT match. Mm-hmm. It's the Schisms Dyad versus the Creed brothers. Mm-hmm. This match was very, very good.
Yeah. They gave it a ton of time too.
They gave it a lot of time. And the Creed brothers are in control near the end, and Ava runs in, and to confront Julius in the corner, and Ivy Nile takes her out. And in the process of, like, the ref was distracted, out comes a masked follower with a schism mask on, and he headbutts, I think it was Julius Creed.
Yep.
And it kind of, like, didn't knocked him silly, and then they hit him with their finisher. Zach Gibson and James Drake. I'm not fucking saying the other names anymore. It's so stupid. James Drake and Zach Gibson, way better names, by the way. They hit their finisher for the victory, and everyone's kind of shocked around the around the place, and the masked figure is standing like at the top of the stage. And by the way, it's clearly Joe Gacy. It's so fucking obvious. That dude is fat, and you can tell.
We should.
It was so obvious that it was.
We should also say this is why it's obvious too. Obviously because of the look, because Joe Gacy was ringside originally, and he got ejected, from ringside.
Yeah, because he wasn't there anymore, so it was completely obvious that it was him.
Yep.
They couldn't have made it any more fucking obvious.
Yeah.
Any more obvious that it was Joe Gacy.
Yeah.
So they have to leave, and I already said what happened there. And then Finn Balor basically says that they accept on a video, pre-recorded video. He says that they accept, and they will be at NXT next week. Mm. I fucking love that.
Yeah. To give my thoughts on the loser leaves NXT match, I liked it a lot, obviously. I thought the match was great. I give it 4.25 stars. I give it an extra quarter because I actually like the fact that the Grizzled Young Veterans won. It was a nice swerve. It was a really good surprise. I hope it means that the Creed brothers are going to the main roster. It's time for them to go to the main roster. A lot of people are saying this is going to be a storyline, though. They're going to come back to NXT later.
I saw that, yeah.
So
then why have a loser leave?
Yeah, so
doesn't make any sense to have a loser leaves just for them to be written off for a few weeks and then to come back.
I feel like they should just go to the main roster.
Why not just they should have just done what if they were going to do a match like this without the loser leave stipulation? Just write the Creeds off for a few weeks. Have them get put through the table.
Well, especially too.
Again, well, table's already done, but have them set up a table in the ring and have them do it.
Especially too, considering the fact that one of the teams legitimately wants to leave, so why not to have that team lose too? So,
yeah, exactly.
But I hope I'm gonna remain hopeful, and I hope that this means the Creeds are going to the main roster. But I am suspicious because of that report, and also that Ivy Nile is still going to be there. So that makes me think they're all coming back to NXT. Because it doesn't make sense that Ivy Nile wouldn't go with them if they're not coming back. But I hope this means the Creeds are going to the main roster. I think they could do some great things on the main roster. They could be a killer tag team. I was gonna say for the
even if they go on the route of them being like an American Alpha type, I wouldn't mind that at all.
I could say they could be a killer tag team.
Even Alpha Academy.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Put them in Alpha Academy.
Yeah, they have to be. I think they'd have to be heels though, because Alpha Academy is clearly babyface right now. So,
you could put them in Alpha Academy with Gable and Otis and Maxine.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm excited about. I hope this. I don't know what this means for Girls United veterans now, because obviously, it seems like they're sticking around for a while. When's the contract up, by the way?
Like September. Okay. They still have like a lot of time left.
I was thinking they were going to use this to write them off of TV, but they still.
I thought so too, but I'm like, it's fucking July. Yeah. They have like 2 or 3 months left.
Yeah, so I don't know. I still think they're going to continue that storyline where they don't want to be in Schism anymore, and I hope it leads to them eventually turning on Gacy. And the best bet to keep them is to have them go to the main roster and have Triple H book them and make them Girls Young veterans again and all that type of stuff. They're probably going to end up keeping the names because they might go back to the other names because we've seen Triple H has changed people's names before, but there's certain names I'm surprised he's kept, but we'll see. But yeah, I thought this match.
Yeah, he kept all of Imperium as their names, which is weird. I thought he was gonna go back to the other names, but he didn't.
But then Finn Balor's promo I thought was awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. When Carmelo Hayes faces off with the Judgment Day and stuff. I wonder if they're gonna do a segment where Judgment Day beats him down. Damian Priest teases like he's gonna cash in, and Finn stops him and stuff like that. But they kind of do some more cracks in the Judgment Day type of thing. But I'm looking.
That'd be
yeah. But Judgment Day doing stuff at NXT I think is awesome stuff right there. So, yeah, take us to the main event segment of the show though.
Yes. So they did show a little bit of footage of Diamond Mine during the commercial break. They basically got a standing ovation. They waved goodbye.
That's why I hope it's a bite off because it's weird to do this.
You don't do that if you don't fucking. If you don't do that, if you're gonna come back in 2 weeks, that doesn't happen. So Braun Breaker comes out. And he basically talks about his match with Seth Rollins, and he came so close to winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He says he's only 25 years old, and what's next for the badass Braun Breaker? And Ilya Dragunov, who's like kids. And they jaw-jack for a little bit, and then they start fucking fighting each other.
Yeah.
They start beating the crap out of each other, and the referees try to break it up, but they don't have any luck. Because, again, it's just strong boys, baby!
Yep.
Beat the piss out of each other. Eventually, the Performance Center recruits come out, and they rush the ring in the ringside area, and they break it up. But they still throw. There's a few more punches that are thrown. But it's basically broken up. And Braun says that he's going to kick Ilya Dragunov's ass.
Yes, he might not, though.
And that's how NXT goes off the air as the brawl moves towards the backstage area.
I like this a lot. I thought...
Fade to black.
Yeah. I liked this. I'm into seeing Ilya Dragunov versus Braun Breaker. I'm really into that feud. I think that's going to be awesome. They're clearly probably going to have a match at NXT, the Great American Bash. I hope they add a stipulation to it, like a no-holds-barred or a street fight, or maybe like Falls Count Anywhere, just because I think they make a lot of sense. I'd say Last Man Standing, but they just did that set for Dragunov Battleground. So I think they should just do Falls Count Anywhere. And I think that should be Braun's last feud in NXT. I don't know what, because there's not there really isn't anything for him anyways to do in NXT. But if they want, Ilya Dragunov clearly, they don't want to have him challenge for the belt right now, and they need a storyline for him. And I think Braun Breaker is the perfect storyline, because this is a match a lot of people wanted anyways when Dragunov came to NXT back in the fall, and then they haven't been able to do it obviously because of his visas and all that type of stuff. I say visas like he has 2 visas. He only got 1 visa. Like, what am I talking about? He got 2 visas now.
He's got the visas.
Yeah, but yeah, this segment ruled. I thought it was awesome. Anything else you want to say about it?
It was great. I loved it. It was fantastic.
That was NXT. Yeah, it's kind of a tough show to grade because there's a lot of shit on this show. Like, the segments are really the shitty things. Like, there was some shitty.
The matches themselves, maybe besides like the Lyra versus JC
and
match,
the Tatum versus
but
match.
Other than that, like,
yeah,
it's the show was actually really.
I'll
good.
give it like a solid like B. I'll give it like the same grade as Raw because I thought the wrestling really made up.
Yeah,
for
give
the
it
show.
a solid B.
And they did have some good. They did have some good promos on the show, and the excitement of like hyping up of Judgment Day coming next week, I think, really made this show also. So, I liked it. So, NXT is a solid B. Now let's go through. We're gonna follow how I watched it, Wolves. So I watched the bump first. I'll cover that first. The bump took place.
No,
no, we're following those rules. The bump took place on July 5th, 2023. The hosts of the bump were Caleb Braxton, Matt Camp, and Ryan Popola. They're all in different areas. Caleb Braxton does the show from California. I think that's where she lives now. And then Matt Camp does it from WWE headquarters. I think Ryan Popola does it too also, but he's like in a different part of it. I don't know where he is. He's just there. They break down what's been going on in WWE as of late. They talk about how they can't believe a lot of this stuff's happened. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. You know, the typical WWE thing on panels and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. I just can't believe it. Like, they're just in shock.
I can't believe it.
Damian Priest gets interviewed. He's not actually there. He's just at home. He was on his headphones. He was just lounging. A lot of for some of this interview, he like put his head down like on a chair that's rolling, like he was about to go to sleep. I don't know what he was doing, but he was like about to go to sleep.
He should have.
But he talks about like his Money in the Bank like contract when he talks about how it's a great opportunity for him. He kind of he's honest about the Judgment Day breakup, but he just kind of talks about how it's just miscommunications. He doesn't say that there's actually like problems in the Judgment Day, and the host of the bump appreciate Damian Priest's honesty, so that's why they keep asking him about it. But he never gets like annoyed or anything like that Damian Priest, that they ask him about it. He just kind of, but he says they kept asking him about it too, and he just kept saying a lot of the same answers. Like good that it wasn't Kevin Owens that was being interviewed. He would have fucking
he would have been
yeah. And then he talked about like how when he does win they asked him too, like, have you been watching like other past Money in the Bank contract holders, and you're gonna try to take what they did? Is there any advice that they give you and all that type of stuff? And he just says, no, I'm gonna do my own thing with the briefcase. Like, what? I don't think Damian Priest has time in his day to like sit down and watch past Money in the Bank cash-ins. Like, I think he's got better things to do with his life other than that. But he says that, he tells him that whoever the champion is, I'm not going to cash in cleanly. It's going to be when you're beaten down. So if you're a champion, you better have your head on a swivel type of thing. And then they bring on Drew McIntyre. This was his first interview since, since he's been back in WWE. He talked about, being back. He talked about at first he was worried if the crowd was going to react to him and all that type of stuff because, he's been away for a while and all that type of stuff. He was worried the crowd was going to forget about him, which is weird. It made it seem like he was gone for like 2-3 years, but he was only gone, like a few months? Like, it was really weird. Especially where he returned to. He returned like in the UK. It's not like he wasn't going to get imagine that he didn't get a reaction. It was like crickets he came out to. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And legit crickets, the crowd just magically turned into crickets type of thing.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it would be. He talked about how he wants to go for the Intercontinental Championship. He likes the fact that Walter's making the belt a really prestigious championship. He talked about how the match at Mania, he was really proud of it and all that type of stuff. And He talked about being a U.S. citizen because I think it wasn't the same day, but this was like the first week where he's been like a U.S. citizen. So he kind of talked about like his appreciation for that. I think that's the main reason he was on, was so that way he could talk about that, because he hasn't.
Oh fuck yeah.
And then they said they're gonna work out a schedule so that way Drew McIntyre could come in person to the bump. I'm like, and Drew says, yeah, I'll definitely keep it on my schedule. But he did seem genuine, but it was kind of like one of those things where I don't think he wants to take the time to fly out to WWE HQ for no reason, just to do the bump. Like, because he was doing this interview, like, from his car, too. Like, that just shows you, like, he gave no Fs right there.
No respect.
Yeah, he was, like, doing it from his car with, like, shitty Wi-Fi connection, too. So it's like, yeah. But the bump was decent. It's not good as other bumps. I gave it, like, a B. I liked hearing Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest's interview. But I could have done without the week WWE breakdown. We didn't need that. Like, what do you need to break down the week for? Like, no one's watching it for that. Come on. You don't need to do that. Let's continue. I want to talk about main event now. That aired the same day, but I didn't watch it till the next day because of Hulu rules. We had Byron Saxton and Kevin Patrick on commentary. They were pretty decent on commentary together. They're very nice to each other. They treat each other with respect, which I'm really happy about. You know, it's good stuff. We had JD McDonough versus Akira Tozawa. This was a very good match right here. JD McDonough won with the Devlin side, but I thought Tozawa looked like a really good contender in the match. Then we had Apollo Crews versus Riddick Moss. This match was all right. Riddick Moss was, fairly dominant in the match, but it wasn't enough. Eventually, Apollo Crews won with a pop-up Samoan drop, and that was that. I thought that was good. We need to start doing stuff with JD McDonough and Apollo Crews, though. They shouldn't be, like, stuck on main event forever. Like, why'd you call these guys up if you're going to put them on main event forever? I am giving a pass on JD McDonough because it does seem like he's going to join Judgment Day. But Apollo Crews, we're just wasting our time with him. Like, he needs to be in the mix with something. I was thinking he'd challenge for the IC title, but it doesn't seem like they're going there. But you really wasted Apollo Crews, and I'm sick of it.
Let's go.
But yeah, what do you
put them on main event forever?
Like on it.
The main event.
Yeah. Crew. I don't know what's going on there, but main event was good. I'll give that like a B-. I thought we had a couple kick-ass matches on this.
They should form a tag team called the Main Event of Main Event.
That'd be awesome. I think we talked about this. What happens if you main event type of thing. But let's get to SmackDown.
You could be main eventing.
Yeah. Let's talk about SmackDown. There was an MSG, which is why we did the Kane Unmasking retro. The commentary team was Wade Barrett and Michael Cole. I want to make sure my audio's still recording because I don't want to find out we've been doing this video this long and then my audio's not recording. So this is going to be an unedited part just because like I don't want to stop the recording. Hello. Yeah, it's still recording. I just wanted to make sure. You know, because I don't want to find out that's not recording after we do all this.
Yeah.
Because we're 2 hours into the video type of thing. So, So SmackDown, yeah, that was July 7th, 2023. For some reason, I almost wrote July 5th when I was making my notes. I don't know what I was thinking. I got my days mixed up, I guess. I was thinking it was Wednesday for some reason. We had Wade Barrett and Michael Cole on commentary for it. And it kicked off right with the tribal court of Roman Reigns. Yeah, it was the opening segment. I thought that made a lot of sense. The Usos. At first I was surprised. I thought it'd be the main event, but they changed that later. The Usos come out. They talk about, how happy they are that they got the pinfall victory over Roman Reigns, and they proved that he couldn't step to them as a tag team and all that type of stuff. And then Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa come out, and Paul Heyman is about to show evidence. Because basically he's the defendant of Roman Reigns for this. And he's about to show evidence about why Roman Reigns shouldn't be found, guilty during the tribal court. But, the Usos basically tell him to stop talking. They don't want to hear anything that he has to say anymore. He doesn't have the right to tell them what to do. And Paul Heyman tells him that no one silences me except... And then Solo grabs the mic from Paul Heyman and throws it out of the ring. And he stands in the corner. And... Roman Reigns actually comes out. And then it goes to break, and then it comes back. Roman Reigns is confused because there's a tribal court going on, but yet he didn't call for it, so he's wondering why he's even there to begin with. And He talks about how he's done everything for the Usos. He's the reason that they're relevant. He's done everything for them. He's done everything for his family. But the Usos ain't buying it this time. They're not going to let Roman Reigns manipulate them. And they show evidence about, why Roman Reigns is being placed on trial. And it's basically all the moments that Roman Reigns has basically mistreated the Usos. And they showed, like, everything, by the way, since essentially he became the tribal chief. Type of thing. I like that there was a segment they showed in there where he didn't know which Uso was which. I thought that was awesome. The crowd starts chanting, "You fucked up" at Roman Reigns. Obviously, they have to silence it now because of the PG rating and all that type of stuff. And then Roman Reigns says that he didn't screw up because that's not him that you see on the clip. He talks about how that's what he has to act like to stay on top of the mountain to, feed their entire family pretty much. And he said that he doesn't want to act this way. And if you guys feel this way, then I don't want any of this stuff. I like too that he mentioned that like that they were slandering his character and they were showing it in front of his kids. And they mentioned that like one of his daughters was backstage and all that type of stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. And Roman Reigns says that he doesn't want to be the head of the table. He's got like the Samoan like Arab necklace around him, and he puts it on Jey Uso, and he bows to him like he's now going to be the tribal chief. Unfortunately, it was a ruse. Roman Reigns low blows Jey Uso, and they let this play out for a little bit. Jimmy attacks Roman Reigns, and Solo completely blindsides Jimmy. He lays him out with a Samoan spike. Jay does the best he can to fight him off, but he's not successful. And Roman and Solo just beat the crap out of the Usos. They tie up Jay into the ropes, and they force him to watch as Roman beats the crap out of Jimmy Uso. He hits him off the head with his new WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. He hits him off the head with the steps a few times. And then eventually Jay's able to fight free for a second, but it's not long enough. He gets thrown. And then Solo hits a splash through the table onto Jimmy Uso. And that was the end of the segment. I thought the segment was wonderful. It was really fantastic. And it's probably one of the best. I think when the Bloodline storyline's over, we got to sit down and do like a ranking of the best segment that's happened like during the Bloodline. That might have to be like a top 10 type of thing. Because there's been some truly epic segments. But this segment was absolutely awesome. And I thought it was absolutely wonderful. What did you think of this?
I loved it. I thought the segment was fan-fucking-tastic. Everything they did was great. They feigned like Roman was like upset and crying, and he just hits Jay right in the fucking balls. That was I like that. And they just beat the shit out of Jimmy.
Yeah,
it made Jay watch like. Poor guy has to watch his twin get the shit fucking beaten out of him. And I will say, though, some stuff had to get a little cut by Vince because that segment went way overboard.
Yeah, it did.
In terms of time.
But, again, it's like with the tribal court of Sami Zayn. I'm okay with that, I will rant about it, obviously, but I'm okay with it for the most part. We had the first actual match on the show. We did get a match for over 40 minutes because the segment went so long. It was for the United States Championship. It was Austin Theory defending against Sheamus. I liked this match a lot. I thought it was really back and forth. Eventually, Pretty Deadly come out and run interference. But the Brawling Brutes went out. They fight off Pretty Deadly. And Austin Theory then eventually rolled up Sheamus. He went for the bro kick. He hit one of the Pretty Deadly members with it, but it allowed Theory to hit a roll-up onto Sheamus. And he got the victory here. He retained his title. I didn't like the finish too much. I feel like they should have just had a new champion here just because Theory hasn't done much with the belt recently, and I thought it was time for a change with the championship. But it is what it is. I think he's losing the belt fairly soon anyways. I gave the match 3 1/4 stars. I thought it was pretty good. The thing that sucked about it is most of the match happened during the break, so you didn't really see much of it. But I still thought the match was pretty solid overall. What did you think?
I thought this match was really good. I really liked it. It was a good match.
The style, Aiden.
I give it 3.
Then it shows like moments that happened in MSG. You had to see Kane unmask again of his face and all that type of stuff. So it's not fair to you. We will say there was a segment, by the way, that took place before SmackDown. We typically don't talk about them, but they just showed it today. It was Hit Row doing like a rap or something like that, and LA Knight came out and beat the crap out of him. And I think he's a face now. That's clearly indication that he's a baby face now, which I think is great.
Oh, 100%.
A lot of people complain that he was cut to the dark match, but I think it's just going to be for this week, just because, it's fine. I feel like if he's on, if he continues to get cut to the dark thins, I'll say something about it. But it's just 1 week. I'm not going to say anything about it right now. So, and again, I don't think we have to see LA Knight actually on TV every week, type of thing, because he'll get overexposed, and we don't want that. So. Then we had the Grayson Waller effect with Edge. Grayson Waller's out there. He is introducing Edge. He brings him out. Edge comes out. And, Edge talks about how he's happy to be an MSG and type of thing. And Grayson Waller just immediately comes about. He's like, oh, okay, we don't need to hear any of that. We don't need to hear you sob thing. He was, like, talking about his moments and things like that. And Grayson Waller talks about how Edge has a big announcement to make. And obviously Edge doesn't know anything about this announcement because Grayson Waller made it up. And, Edge says that, he talks about how, his first PLE was in MSG at SummerSlam 98. He talks about how he's had a lot of great moments in the WWE, and he's back for the fans. And Grayson Waller then says, but you're retiring. You basically done all you can do, and you're retiring. And Edge tells Grayson Waller that he needs to learn to stay in his lane because you're still new to the business. You haven't even had a match on the main roster yet, and you're trying to get leech off all the big stars. But he tells him that tonight Grayson Waller is going to prove that whether or not he can sink or swim because he's going to be facing Edge in the main event tonight. And obviously Grayson Waller is surprised about this, and Edge walks off. I like this segment a lot. I thought it was a really good way to set this up, and I did not expect that it was going to lead to Edge versus Grayson Waller in a match. At MSG and that type of thing. What did you think of this?
I thought this was great. He's going to learn to shut his mouth.
I guess so.
Or Edge is going to... I guess he's going to learn to shut his mouth, or Edge is going to fucking shut it for him.
And I didn't mind the fact they gave away the match on SmackDown just because, Edge has Edge shown up at an MSG show since he's been back? I don't think he has, because...
That's why they did it.
So, it's kind of...
Which I'm perfectly fine with.
Because it's in MSG. It's not like it's at a random SmackDown that's in...
No, this is fucking Madison Square Garden. This is a big show.
So... Thought this was a nice callback here. Then we had the segment that was clearly cut for time because of how long the first segment went. It was AJ Styles with Mia Yim versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett. Karrion Kross's knee was taped up. I don't know if he legitimately has an injury or they were going to use this as an out to kind of give a reason this match was short. I'm really not sure. But this match, whether Karrion Kross was fully healthy or not, was going to get cut for time because that first segment went so long. It was basically blink and you missed it. AJ Styles won with the phenomenal forearm. And I give this match like a star and 3/4. They should have just pushed this match to next week and cut it. They should have just done like an angle instead where Karrion Kross just laid out AJ and then they just said the match has to happen next week. Just because, one, this is a bad utilization of Karrion Kross. Like, they need to go back to the drawing board, I think, of Karrion Kross. It's not working what they're doing, and the guy just loses all the time. And this is like, I think after this now, you especially need to go back to the drawing board with him because it's been really bad for him. He either needs to go back to, like, NXT, or leave the company in general, or they just need to write him off for a bit and not, because it's just, it has not been good for him ever since the Drew feud is wrapped up. So, yeah, I don't mind seeing AJ, but again, they should have just pushed this. If they had to cut this match for time, they should have just pushed this match to next week, or like done it on the dog match and then pushed it to next week because it made everybody kind of look bad coming out of this. What did you think?
Yeah, it just looked. This match is supposed to have a lot more time, but since the first segment went almost to 40 minutes, it cut them to 2. Yeah. So I think they were supposed to go around 4 to 5 minutes, which would have been fine. Anything longer than fucking 2. But like you said, I agree with you on that. They should have 1,000% pushed it to next
Yeah.
week. There's no reason to force have this match on. I know Vince hates fucking Karrion Kross, but Jesus Christ, you should have had the match gone next
Yeah.
week.
I said I know it's like not because Vince also hates false advertising. He doesn't like to promise a match and then not have it delivered. But I really don't think the fans would have been disappointed if this match did not happen. Like, I we yeah, people probably went there to see AJ Styles and stuff, but like you still could have had them come out there and just have Karrion Kross just obliterate AJ Styles.
Not having
Yeah.
the match.
So, yeah. Again, we need to go back to the drawing board with Karrion Kross, I think. Then we had Asuka come out to cut a promo. This might have been cut for time, but I thought the segment still came off fairly well anyways. Asuka went to talk, and then Bianca Belair ran out. She attacked Asuka. They brawled, and then Charlotte ran out. She got into the mix, and this led to Io Sky and Bayley coming out. Io Sky hit Asuka with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Bayley hit the Rose Plant onto the briefcase. And then Io Sky hit the moonsault. She was about to cash in, but Bianca attacked Bayley, knocking the briefcase, so the cash in never happened. And then the brawl continues, but Asuka just barely escapes with the championship. I actually kind of like this. I think this benefited from going short. I like the fact that it was just very chaotic type of thing. And I like that they teased the cash in. I'm glad the cash in didn't happen because we need to have a woman's Money in the Bank contract to actually hold. We need to have both people like hold the briefcase for like a while. By the way, too, not like a few days type of thing. So I liked this. And yeah, this is clearly setting up a triple threat match at SummerSlam. We are getting a match between Bianca and Asuka next week for the belt. So yeah, I liked this. What did you think of this?
I thought this was really good. I liked it.
We should mention.
I liked it a lot.
We should mention Bianca doesn't want to turn heel pretty much for the same reasons Cena didn't want to go heel because she does all this charity work now and all that type of stuff. I think that's a mistake for Bianca not to go heel. She can't stay a babyface forever. I know a lot of people are saying because they do all this charity work now, it'd be weird, but like we've seen heels before do charity work and they still stayed heel anyways. Like the biggest example I could give is Batista. Like he went and visited Colin Mahalik and stuff like that, and he was still a heel on TV anyways. If anything, he actually used it. Colin Mahalik used it in the thing when they went and visited him type of thing. Like you mentioned, I hope you tap out to Daniel Bryan and type of thing. Like if anything, it actually worked out fairly well. So like I think you could still do the charity work and still be a heel on TV. I think Bianca needs to go heel.
I'm against it.
What?
100% against it.
What about Bianca going heel though? Do you think? Because I think she.
That's the thing. Like I'm 100% against it.
Oh, okay. You don't want her to go heel.
I'm not for that. I rather just keep her face. Like again, she does so much that it's like not the one thing where it's a one-time thing. It's like she does so much charity work for WWE and for Make-A-Wish that it wouldn't make any sense.
That's fair. They could always do. They don't necessarily have to turn her heel, but they should give her like an edge to a character, like not be a bland babyface type of thing. I'd be okay with that. Yeah, they're clearly setting up a triple threat. I'm not a fan of them doing a match between Asuka and Bianca next week because that's not going to have a finish next week. That's going to be which I'm not a fan of, but we'll see. Then we have.
Let's go.
Then we have more
non-finishes. Yeah.
And it showed more MSG moments, stuff that happened in MSG. Then we had Edge versus Grayson Waller. At first, I'm thinking, like, is this going to be the main event? Because this came on at, like, 9:30. So I'm like, there has to be something else here, right? Because I think unless there's great...
Oh, boy. Was there ever.
This match was really back and forth. Edge was working over the ribs of Grayson Waller. The thing I found weird about it, as Michael Cole was mentioning on commentary, like he's softening up those ribs for the spear. Like, why does he need to soften up the ribs for the spear? He could just hit the spear anyways. Like it doesn't. Like it's not like he has a.
Well, it's softened up for when he eventually hits it.
He can just hit it. Just hit it. It's not that hard.
They gotta be soft.
But Yeah, Wade Barrett and Michael Cole both were like ragging on Grayson Waller here, especially because if you remember, even when Wade Barrett was a heel in NXT, he hated Grayson Waller. If you remember,
Yeah,
but
and then he came out and trashed England
he did, yeah,
at Money in the Bank.
yeah.
So he hates him. He hates him triple the amount now.
And then I thought Grayson Waller looked very impressive at this match. He's showcased himself very well. Not a bad way to start your main roster career. If in the span of a week, he had Logan Paul on his show. He had a face-to-face segment with John Cena, and he had basically a main event program this week. The main event match on SmackDown with Edge. So that's a pretty good start to your main roster career. He does lose here.
Yeah,
he does lose here. Like he goes for his spinning like cutter into the ring, but Edge catches him with a spear. And then afterwards, he tells Grayson Waller that he swam. So even though Grayson Waller lost his first match, I don't have an issue with it, just because one, it was his first match anyways. Like you don't always have to win your first match if you. It does make sense because Edge is the veteran anyways. There's really no reason for Edge to lose and all that type of stuff. I think Grayson Waller's made. I think because Edge did the thing at the end where he mentioned that he swam, I think that put him over even more. I mean, everyone forgets, by the way, John Cena didn't win his first match on the main roster, by the way. Like, he lost to Kurt Angle type of thing and was still put over and everything like that. And this was kind of not the exact same thing, obviously, but like basically where Grayson Waller lost, but he still got put over because he mentioned he swam. This reminded me a lot, I don't know, you don't want to hear about this guy, of the Aleister Black Velveteen Dream match from TakeOver War Games, where Aleister Black won, but Velveteen Dream still got the vindication at the end when we said his name. It was exactly like that match. So I liked this a lot. I think Grayson Waller will be okay from this. The thing is, too, he's a great promo. There's a very few people that can look like fools, but it just takes for them cutting a great promo to make themselves look credible. Very few wrestlers can do that. The wrestlers I can think of that can do that are MJF, Kevin Owens, and probably The Miz. Those are like the ones that can just lose all the time, but it just takes one killer promo.
Yeah.
And I think Grayson Waller is going to benefit from this. They could always come back to this, too. Like, if Edge has a retirement match, they could do this match again. So I'm okay with this type of thing. Plus, it's also Edge's first match at MSG, It makes sense for him to get the win here and all that type of stuff. There's no reason for Edge to really lose right now, because that's kind of starting to happen a lot with the veterans. That's why John Cena, when you beat Cena now, it's not really that important anymore. Because you saw it didn't do anything for Theory, because Cena loses so often, it doesn't benefit them. So I'm okay with Edge winning here. I think Grayson Waller if they book him well, he could come out the other side from this really well. What do you think? What did you think of this match and Grayson Waller losing his first match? I mean, you gotta play kayfabe and say that he deserved this, but give like a real Chris Dodd answer.
The real Chris Dodd answer?
Real one. I want a real answer here. I don't want this kayfabe shit.
That piece of crap deserved to lose. And he fucking sank instead of swam. No, but seriously, like, this match put Grayson over, like, huge. And it really put him on the map. Again, you're facing a fucking Hall of Famer, you're facing a fucking legend in the industry, and you fucking held your own against him. He ended up beating you in the end, but still, you looked really fucking good in this match. And if anything, I read through the dirtiest of sheets that they praised Grayson's work for that in that match. So they're very, very, very high on him. And,
Vince, we could say what we want. I don't know if Triple H probably wrote this ahead of time and all that type of stuff, but Vince clearly, I mean, maybe because he wanted to also have Edge on the show, but Vince clearly thinks something of Grayson Waller. He could have just been like, nope, you're not getting this spot. We're cutting this. Like, he let this happen. He could have cut this if he wanted to. Like, and I think Vince likes Grayson Waller anyways, because when he was booking NXT, when he took over NXT, Grayson Waller was one of the guys he built the show around pretty much. So, I liked this. As a star rating, I give this match like 3 3/4. What would you give this as like a star rating?
Yeah, I give it 3. It's it was a really good
And
match.
we forgot to give a star rating for the AJ Styles Karrion Cross match. I give that like a star. What would you give that?
I give it
Okay.
incomplete.
Then Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are backstage, and Paul Heyman comes up to them and tell them that Jay is back. So Roman Reigns says if he wants to, you know, if he wants to find him, he can meet me in the ring. So we have that segment. Roman Reigns gets the fans to acknowledge him again because it went so poorly earlier. It doesn't go much better, so I don't know what he was thinking there. And he calls out Jey Uso to finish this. Jey Uso's music hits. He doesn't actually come out. Jey comes out through the
Smart man.
but he comes out through the crowd though, and
Even smarter.
he attacks Solo Sikoa. He beats the crap out of him. He grabs a steel chair, goes into the ring, destroys Roman Reigns with the chair, and then he takes out Solo with the super kick, destroys him with the chair, and basically says that now they're gonna do the tribal court. They're gonna use their fists for that pretty much now, and he challenges him to a match to finish this once and for all, which they haven't said, but it's probably gonna be at SummerSlam. And that was pretty much it. I liked this segment a lot. I thought it was excellent. I'm really into the Roman Reigns Jey Uso storyline. What did you think of this?
I loved it. I thought this was fantastic. It's got Jay over huge. This match is gonna be fucking awesome.
It's gonna be for the belt, obviously. Because obviously Jay holds up the belt and stuff like that. And again, we're probably gonna be rooting for Jay, but we know what Reigns probably is gonna retain the belt. But I'm okay with it, obviously, because Jay got the win he needed when he was the first one to pin Roman Reigns. So I'm okay, obviously, if Jay loses, because of what happened at Money in the Bank. So, and because now that Roman's been pinned, he could lose. He very well could lose here now. There's that unpredictability now again. So, And if you notice, by the way, there was some tension this week between Roman and Solo, because if you remember when Solo grabs that beret or whatever that is, there was some hesitation between of Solo giving it to Roman. So, I don't think they're doing a match between Roman and Solo, but I think Solo's gonna leave Roman Reigns. Probably not anytime soon, but probably closer to like Mania time. He'll probably leave Roman Reigns, and there's a certain guy on Raw that's got to finish his storyline where he's gonna be all. Cody called this. He was gonna be all by himself, and now Roman's gonna be all alone when he faces Cody at WrestleMania. So
a certain gentleman.
What do you think of that take right there?
Love it. He's gonna finish the story.
Yep. This show was fantastic. I'm giving it an A. The only thing that sucked was the AJ Styles Karrion Cross match. What do you think?
A big, fat, juicy A.
Juicy A too, not just an A, a juicy one. So
it's juicy.
And
the only thing I'm with you too on that fucking Karrion Cross thing could have just been pushed off.
Let's go for Level Up. It aired the same day. We had Byron Saxton and Blake Howard on commentary. Byron Saxton was very angry on the show. He was very heelish. Again, I don't think he likes commentating Level Up. I think he wants to be anywhere else, so he's just angry when he commentates Level Up. Because Main Event, he's not angry on, and he's not made it. So I don't know what it is about Level Up. Like, there's something in the air with Level Up that he doesn't like. So I don't know what's going on there.
Guess the air's not right then.
We had Fallon Henley versus Tatum Paxley. I know you're thinking, Chris, like, technically this is house show rules. Tatum Paxley wrestled twice on the same show. Guess what, though? Guess what?
So
she lost twice in the same night, so she ain't getting any winning money. Not in the win column, so.
The winner's purse.
Fallon.
She's not going, as they say, not going to the pay window.
No, she's not. Yeah, so Fallon Henley won, and that was that. The match was...
Back to the house show circuit she goes. She got off the house show circuit. 0-2. We're right back to the house show circuit.
This match was fairly good, though. Blake Howard and Byron Saxton were questioning the weird stuff that was going on with Tatum Paxley. They said that she's trying stuff out in her career, and it's not, it may not be working, but she's gonna figure it out, and she
Trying stuff out. Like
I
drugs?
don't know. That's what Byron Saxton said. But yeah. Then Cal Dixon has an interview. This is a really bad promo. Really bad. Where, like, he's running, like, scripts. And he talks about his entrance, and he talks about, like, what's he mean when he does this? Is he drawing Cal Dixon, or is he writing his name? It's like, that was a bad promo.
That sounds fucking
Yeah, it was
terrible.
terrible.
Jesus Christ.
If this guy's on The Bachelor, if this is his promo skills, then there's a reason I don't think they're advertising his appearance on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, or whatever. Like, he's probably terrible on that show too.
He's probably awful.
Then we had Scripps versus Cal Dixon. Very basic match here. Scripps wins with the Scripps go round, pretty much. I don't know what it's called, but it's the
Scripps go round.
Well, it's the Molly go round, so I'm calling it the Scripps go round. So, and Scripps won. Good. It's a good Scripps. Very good Scripps.
He's good at scripts.
I'll give main event like a C-. It was an average show. You really didn't need to see it. If you want to watch that Fallon Henley Tatum Paxton match, you can, but it's pretty predictable, so there's no reason to. But not main event. Level up's a C-. I bet you're thinking, nope, that was not a botch. You are right, Owen. Main event is a C-. So,
it's all the same damn thing.
We have predictions to go over. We'll start with Raw since that's the first show. We have some stuff announced for Raw. The Alpha Academy is going to throw a graduation ceremony for Maxine Dupree. I think that's going to be a wonderful segment. I don't know if that's going to be an in-ring segment, or they're going to do that, like, not backstage, but it'll be backstage, but they'll say it's like a campus or whatever. But I'm looking forward to that. I think that could be a very entertaining segment.
Kind of like how Otis had his like graduation or whatever.
I think that could be an entertaining segment. I'm trying to think of who could interrupt that. I would like to see. Maybe this could be where the Creed Brothers debut, where they could interrupt this. I would like to see that. But I feel like the Creed Brothers should be on SmackDown. They fit the SmackDown vibe more than Raw. But I would complain if the Creed Brothers interrupted that. That'd be nice. What do you think will happen in the graduation ceremony?
I think it's going to go off without a hitch.
No interruptions?
It's going to go off. 0 interruptions.
Okay.
Because it's such a beautiful segment.
Then we're going to have Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle take on Imperium, Marcel Bartel, and Fabian Eichner. This is clearly going to be a Drew and Matt Riddle victory. I don't think it's going to be an easy win. I think this match will go a while, but I think Drew and Matt Riddle will win. And this is going to be used to set up maybe a number 1 contenders match between Drew and Riddle. Drew will win that and face Walter at SummerSlam for the belt. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, this is a Drew and Matt Riddle win.
And then Cody Rhodes is going to deliver a special message to Brock Lesnar on Raw this week. We don't know what he's going to talk about. We just know he's going to deliver a message. I imagine we're going to finally get the SummerSlam match announced here. There is rumors.
I think so.
Yeah, there is rumors it's going to be a stipulation. The stipulations that's been thrown around is dog collar match, Texas Bull match, or a Falls Count Anywhere match. I think dog collar match got denied. I think Brock didn't want to do that. I imagine if Brock doesn't want to do dog collar, I don't see Brock want to do a bull match. If he doesn't want to do dog collar, I could kind of.
But it's also a stipulation they haven't done before. So false count.
Yeah, I can understand though Brock not wanting to do a dog collar match, but I could see him doing a bull match because I could see like him like not wanting to wear a dog collar the whole match.
Yeah,
but I think a bull match would be good. The only reason I don't want them to do a bull match because the bull matches is the stupid stip where you have to touch the corners to win, and I don't think that and I feel like Cody needs to get like a definitive.
Let's go.
I feel like Cody needs to get like a definitive win.
Touch those fucking corners. Get those fucking hands ready, and slap those fucking corners. But I think baby.
That if Cody gets a win on Brock that way, that doesn't benefit him at all. Like he needs to get like a definitive pinfall victory. No roll-ups or anything on Brock Lesnar. What do you think's gonna happen?
He needs a surprise roll-up.
What do you think? About the. What do you think Cody's special message is gonna be to Brock Lesnar?
I think it's gonna be Texas Bull Rope.
Do you want?
That's the
Do
best.
you want them to do the stupid step where you have to touch the corners, or do you want the pinfall or submission route?
I think pinfall submission benefits the most, but I think they're gonna go with the generic slap the roof, slap the turnbuckles.
The only reason I could see them not doing that step is I don't see Brock wanting to do a step like that. Like, that would be weird if Brock.
They could just do false count anywhere or no holds barred or something like that.
Let's preview NXT. Ivy Nile is going to face Tiffany Stratton. It's a non-title match.
Of course it is.
I imagine Tiffany Stratton will win. They're going to use the fact that the Creed brothers aren't there anymore. That's going to get into Ivy Nile's head, and it will allow Tiffany Stratton to win. What do you think?
I agree, yeah. That's probably the most logical thing.
Then we have Chase U versus Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey. I think since this is Andre Chase's first match back in NXT, they're going to give it to Chase U. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, 100% Chase U is winning.
Then Blanco Nima and Lucian Price are going to make their debut. I imagine they're going to face an enhancement team and win that. What do you think?
Yes. That's the most obvious one.
And then this might be the main event, like match of the show. It's going to be Stacks versus Joe Coffey, where where if Stacks wins, Joe Coffey gets free from jail. But if Stacks wins, Tony D gets freed from jail. But if Joe Coffey wins, Tony D's got to go to trial. This has to be Stacks winning, right? Like, Stacks can't lose this match. What do you think?
I agree. I think Stacks should win, but will he win? I don't know.
They don't even have to give him like a clean win. They could do something with Joe Coffey, like hits the our best for the bells, and he does like the coffee cover where he sits down and Stacks turns it like into a backslide type of thing. They could do that finish.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be like definitive or anything like that.
I feel like I have a feeling though it's gonna be somehow. I feel like they're gonna. I'm gonna pick Stacks to win, but I have a feeling they're gonna fucking get stupid here and have Stacks lose, and they'll go to trial. Because I could see Sean saying like that trial could do huge in the ratings type of thing and all that type of stuff. Because USA Network airs like a lot of that's where Law and Order is and stuff like. I could see them wanting to do a parody of like a Law and Order type segment right there. I just really hope they just give Stacks the win though. Like they've already overcomplicated the storyline as it is. Like you don't need because like you said, I think Tony D's gimmick is dead if Stacks loses here. Because there's no way he could be found innocent in that trial. Then we have SmackDown. The only thing announced for SmackDown is Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Women's Championship. I imagine I am going to pick a winner. I imagine this is going to be a no finish. It's going to be Charlotte Flair interfering. But I'm just going to pick I'm going to pick Asuka to win because of Charlotte Flair by accident type of thing. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, I think it's going to be like there's going to be a schmoz finish. So I don't think there's going to be an actual winner.
We have some news to break down for today. I actually did some news research type of thing. So are you proud of me? I actually did some news stuff.
No, I'm not.
You want? That's okay. There's one news you could break down because I didn't get to read the articles because I forgot. But Triple H apparently is looking to sign some talent again.
Yeah. No one. They didn't say who it was. But he's in the market.
So that must mean the hiring freeze or whatever it is over. I guess I don't know.
I believe so. I think it's been over for a little while.
So that's good that he's. Yeah, that's good that he's.
They're just waiting it out a little bit here to see like whose contracts are coming up in what company, and I mean the big ones, obviously that are up in November, and January and February of next year.
So let's
some big ones.
Because every time
I think Tama and Tongaloa are due up relatively soon. I know. Paul Levesque, the executive, has had his eyes on Tama Tonga for quite a while now, and Hikuleo too.
No,
they're the three of them. The brothers. He's had his eye on them for a very long time.
I'm trying to think of like who else, they could. Obviously, there's the big ones like the Elites are up in November, And with how things are going right now, they very well could be the next. And then MJF's is up in January. I think of one that's going to get signed because I think he would have been back had this highway freeze not happened is obviously Zack Ryder, a.k.a. Matt Cardona. I think he'll be coming back. I think he would have been back by now. He was probably going to come back by now had the highway freeze not happened. Another person I could see coming back, I don't remember what her name was in WWE, is what I think it's Steph DeLander, just because she's been doing stuff with Matt Cardona, like in GCW and stuff like that.
He said that if he comes back, Steph DeLander's coming too.
That's what be interesting. I'm wondering how they'll do that. Like, will they? Because obviously, him and Chelsea Green are married in real life, but will they just like? Will Chelsea Green would do her own thing and Matt Cardona do his own thing with her? So that'd be interesting. I'm trying to think of like who else I'd like to see. I know a lot of people would like to see Kenta. I don't even think his contract would be up, but I've seen Kenta's matches in New Japan recently. They haven't been very good. He just can't really go anymore. Maybe like if he goes to WWE, he wouldn't have to work the New Japan style anymore. But it's not like he wrestled someone that would have had to wrestle the New Japan style. He wrestled Hikuleo recently, and the match wasn't good. So it's like, I just don't think. I think it's not Kenta's fault. It's just he's had all these injuries now and all that type of stuff that like he just really can't go like anymore and all that type of stuff. They should try to get Vikingo.
For sure. 100% Vikingo.
He's still the AAA champion, so but then again, I'm gonna say it's not like they what's his name? Not Laredo Kid. Who just signed recently? He's in NXT right now. Dragon Lee just won the AAA tag titles and still anyways, so
I think he forfeited them.
I'm just saying though, like they could do that with.
I think, but he won it as a.
I could see.
I guess a contracted employee, even though he announced it afterwards.
I think what would happen. I don't see Vikingo though vacating the belt. I think he would drop the title and then go to WWE if that was going to happen.
That's a big one. That's a fucking. He's only on a per appearance deal with AEW right now, so he's not signed to a contract with them. So he could just be like, he could just sign with WWE like right now if he wanted to, or whenever his contract's up with AAA. I think it's up very soon. Because maybe next year.
I'd like to see him. He'd probably do better though in AEW just because like he doesn't really have to cut promos and all that type of stuff. Because I don't.
It depends.
Because Dragon.
He could thrive on the main roster. First of all, if it's still around, like LWO, they put him in the LWO and have him be mentored by Ray
that'd be
Santos.
Awesome.
WWE's always looking for the next big Latin American star.
I hope they bring his theme over because his theme in AAA is like really good. They don't give him like a generic theme that's not good. Like his theme in his theme in AAA / AEW fits him really well. So I hope they have his theme song. I'm trying to. So Hikuleo we talked about. I really can't think of like anybody else. I feel like Kota Ibushi's going to AEW at this point.
He is. 100%.
Which is gonna be weird. So
with Eddie Kingston not being able to perform at Blood and Guts, rumor is it's Kota.
It sucks.
Which is obvious because it's Kenny Omega. So it's
it sucks because I wanted to see Eddie Kingston because I'm probably gonna go to that Dynamite live. I might just to see Blood and Guts, and I wanted to see Eddie Kingston, but
he's in the. I think he's in the New Japan Cup. What the fuck he is? G1 is what. Not the. I mean, the G1 Classic. He's in.
We complain. I don't want to complain about.
It's not like he's doing it by choice. It's required because he's a champion, so he's required to do it.
That's right. I'm okay with it though.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. I mean, it's his lifelong dream. He won a championship in New Japan. Like it was his lifelong dream. I'm like, it's probably a lifelong dream of his to also compete in the New Japan Cup, the G1 Climax. Like,
I will talk about this real quick. The thing I'm not okay with is his first wrestling appearance back though wasn't in AEW. That was a mistake because I kind of gave away he was coming back to AEW soon. Like he should have come back. The first time we saw him in a wrestling capacity was on AEW. So, that'd be like Roman Reigns if he went away for a while and then coming back at like GCW type of thing. I mean, I should say GCW because New Japan's still a relatively big promotion, but like,
Jesus.
yeah. His first appearance, Roman Reigns' first appearance back after being away for a while was on NXT type of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But other news things, Big E might be coming back soon.
He said he's 100%.
Yeah.
And again, we'll wait and see on that one. He said he feels like he's someone. He says he feels like he's someone who didn't have a neck injury, which is like, whoa. That means he could be coming back soon. Again, they said there's no plans for him right now. He said there's no plans for him right now, but again, we'll see. He could always be training right now. That's like the thing is like they'll pull back the curtain a little bit to tell you their health, but it's like he probably has a ring in Tampa. That's like at his home in Tampa. That's like in a garage somewhere, and he's been training this whole time.
I'm okay. I'm all for this too. There was rumors that was going to happen because I don't think you watch Wheel of Fortune and stuff, but Steve and I mentioned it when it was at because usually Pat Sajak will ask you like questions and stuff, and he asked Big E about like his recovery. And Big E he didn't really say anything about his recovery, so this might have been in the works for a little while. Obviously, he didn't say anything. I don't think he was as far back because that was like that was right before Mania because they did it WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I think that episode of Wheel of Fortune was taped like the week before the go home episode of Mania. It's been a few months now. He might be coming back soon. I think that'd be good. You know, you could get because Kofi will be due back soon and Xavier Woods. And think about it too. That'd be awesome because we have not seen the New Day together since, if you think,
as a trio,
full time since 2020, since Big E was drafted to SmackDown and Xavier Woods and Kofi went to Raw.
And they had their little run before they got broken up again in the draft, or the Superstar Shakeup, whatever it was, and then Big E got hurt when they went together again.
No, they never. I don't think they ever made it because I think Xavier didn't. Cause I think it was Xavier that was hurt.
I think it was E and Kofi were teaming up.
And then the week before Xavier came back, of course, Big E got hurt. So they have not been together like on WWE TV in a while. So, you know, because obviously they've done things together, obviously, since then.
And, not to mention, a certain Elite coming up in November.
Yeah.
Your WrestleMania feud next year could potentially be the Elite versus the New Day.
Yep.
Now, that, my friends, is money.
It would be. You know, you could set that up on being the Elite too, and things like that too.
You could do it. You could have it be set up on pay-per-view, the Elite, or the Royal Rumble. Have them Shock join. I would do that. Have them sign instantly when they become free agents.
Yeah. And
then have them Shock show up at the Royal Rumble.
All of them too. I have all of them show up.
Yeah.
I feel like too. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I would have them show up. I feel like I would just have Kenny show up in the Rumble because I don't know if Matt and Nick need to be in the Rumble. Just because. I know that's tough though. I wonder if they should all debut it.
Maybe.
Because I feel like if.
Or have Xavier Woods have a match going at the Rumble, and have Kenny show up and cost him the match. Because again, that's the feud.
Yeah.
They're the main ringleaders of like their YouTube brand. Up, down, down is Xavier Woods. The Elite is Kenny Omega.
I would get the like up, down, down like championship, like a legitimized title. Obviously, just for like this feud, and they fight for that belt.
Yeah. Like that would be
Yeah.
sick. Like if they had like Xavier face, I don't know, like another heel on the roster or whatever.
I mean, I know. Like, that's a pretty big feud because that's a feud that everyone's wanted to see for a while. It's a dream match for everybody.
And you can have it built up and built up and built up. To Mania.
Yeah.
And then you have the 6-man at Mania. And then you can just run it back at SummerSlam.
And I think that'd be awesome.
Or a singles match. You can have Kenny versus Xavier at SummerSlam.
The thing I caution though, obviously if Big E's back, don't have him take the Dragon Suplex though. I caution.
Nope. I wouldn't have him take a one-winged angel. I wouldn't have him take a Dragon Suplex. I barely even have him take fucking suplexes, period. I want to make sure that neck is good to take bumps on before, like, he builds up the bump callus on that neck before he
gets to do it with Kenny. Because Kenny does a lot of moves that you take a bad...
That's why I'd have him exclusively wrestle Xavier.
But yeah, I think that'd be...
Because I mean, they'll obviously be safe because they obviously like each other in real life. They don't want to hurt each other.
I know,
so
but even then, though, Kenny throws some... Like, Kenny's Dragon Suplexes, they'll look very scary sometimes, though.
Brutal. They're snaps. They're snap dragons, so it's like they're fucking brutal looking. And I think Woods can take that, and I think Kofi can take that, but I would not want E taking those.
Because, like,
definitely not.
I feel like, too, like, it's not even, like, because, like, you could lay one in your neck, but not even that, like, with Big E's neck, though, too, like, he could take the move and, like, be fine, but then later backstage, it could be, like, screwed up type of thing, too.
Oh, yeah, he could be fine in the moment, adrenaline's running, going crazy. Yeah. A disc could slip.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's out again. Probably permanently this time.
It's not like, too, Kenny does one Dragon Suplex. He does, like, several, by the way, like, doing,
multiple.
So... Yeah, I would be into that, though, because the thing is, I caution, though, like, the Elite can't come in right away and be in the main event scene, at least for the WWE Championship, because that's kind of Cody's, because I think Cody needs a long one with the belt.
I would avoid it.
I would keep...
You can have him you can even put the fucking tag title belts on them.
I would actually,
WrestleMania, or, not WrestleMania, but, like, the pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
WrestleMania...
Have Matt and Nick win the belts from Kevin and Sammy, and then at WrestleMania put the belts on the line.
And then,
or you could just create a 6-man championship.
Yeah, I like that. You would have to scramble to get a lot of 6-man teams in there, though. They don't have a lot.
I think you could. I mean, the way that they've been scrambling to fucking. I mean, that's of course. This company has fucking endless amounts of money because they're fucking run by billionaires. Tom, you can bring God in. That's a 6-man team and right there.
By then, Solo would have turned on Roman. You could put the Usos and Solo back together as a team.
Put them together? That's another one for... That's
Judgment
3 right
Day
there.
If JD
The New Day?
If JD McDonough...
Probably Dom. Maybe they'll patch up their differences. Dom, Finn, and Damien.
But if not, if JD McDonough joins Judgment Day...
JD McDonough, too, also. Or even someone like a Karrion Kross. Be thrown in there. Like, that's like...
Boots.
There's a one.
And Boots.
You could do... Yep.
And then we have... They've technically been a team. Austin Theory and Pretty Deadly. They've been doing stuff together.
You could do that. I mean, you could theoretically have a 6-man championship. Of course, people will be like, "Oh, that's the thing that AEW is doing. You're just copying them, or you're just copying Ring of Honor or whatever." Like, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care who copies who. I don't care what company copies which company. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. There's one match we forgot to predict, and that's The Miz versus Tommaso Ciampa in the No DQ match. I imagine Ciampa's going to win that. I think that's when I think Gargano's finally going to come back next week on Raw. What do you think?
Yes, I agree with that too. I think Ciampa's going to win. It's his first, I guess, big match. I guess because that Miz match is sort of a surprise. This is his first big match on Raw against Miz.
Because the rumor is they want to do DIY versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag titles.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm down for that.
With that, but I feel like it's kind of rushed, though, now. I mean, they still have a month to build it up, but I don't want to...
You do it? I mean, again, you can have the match and then continue the feud.
Let's see, what else? Obviously, news, Survivor Series is going to be in Chicago this year. Which I think makes sense. I like the fact that Survivor Series is going to Chicago and stuff. They haven't been to Chicago in a while for Survivor Series, so...
I like AEW goes to Chicago every 45 seconds because they need someone to cheer for CM Punk.
I'm cool with that, though. I'm hearing Survivor Series, they're going to do the brand warfare again, but this time NXT would be included, which I kind of hope that's not true, just because, I'm kind of done seeing brand warfare at this point. We've seen it so many times now.
But you could do brand warfare war
Yeah,
games.
that'd be nice. Um,
3 teams, one from Raw, one from SmackDown, one from
I'm
NXT.
also hesitant on it, though, because they're doing so bad. I mean, they did good this week, but they do so badly sticking to the brand split. You can't even figure out who's on what brand anymore. So if they stick to the brand split from now to Survivor Series, but if they break the brand split like every week, then it's not going to feel special when they do brand versus brand versus brand. Like AJ Styles will show up on Raw every week, even though he's meant to be on SmackDown. Then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I'm SmackDown exclusive. I'm SmackDown exclusive now, baby.
SmackDown exclusive.
Even though I show up on Raw.
SmackDown, Raw down exclusive.
But I like your idea of doing like war games. I hope though they don't just make this like a brand, because I don't mind them doing the brand thing. I'd rather just it be war games and then you do other matches too. Like I like how Survivor Series 29 did it. Like they still had 3 world title matches on that show. Like it didn't.
Yeah, they can have. I mean, they can do their regular matches.
Add stakes too, by the way. Like because that's the thing too. No one gets anything out of it. I don't even care if it could be a trophy if you want it to be. Like add stakes to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like something. Make it worth something. Make it worth their while for putting their bodies on.
Especially if it's war games too. Like.
Oh yeah, that's brutal.
Like winning team gets all the members of that team get like a title match or something like that.
Title match of their choosing.
Or like that brand's winner can pick someone from any of the other 2 brands to join their brand. So, but then,
some add something interesting to it.
Because that was like the big complaint I think a lot of people had. Like, none of the brands really get anything from it. So, but yeah, I think that's everything from any other news that's happened in the E.
No.
So
we covered everything.
I hope you guys enjoyed this very much. So, if you didn't enjoy this, then I don't know, give it a dislike. I guess not everything's gonna be for you. We'll start with you, Chris. Is there anything you want to plug or promote?
If you like wrestling, good for you.
Yeah.
On tonight for us, Saturday. Collision's on tonight for us. Whenever this is uploaded, for the next 45 years. But this week should be interesting, for sure. Coming off of the big week that they just had.
Just as for my stuff, you can check out obviously this channel, all the stuff here. WWE Aftershock, extras, or just regular WWE Aftershock. You can check out AEW Spark, as well as the crossover Spark with ATW View that we did reviewing Forbidden Door. And then the Wrestling Rundown. It was supposed to come back this weekend, but I picked the wrong week. I didn't realize like everyone was gonna on the planet was gonna want to hang out on 4th of July week, except you apparently, Chris. Apparently, you're like, fuck this kid. I'm not hanging out with him on 4th of July week. Fuck. Yeah.
Fuck.
So.
Fuck this. Fuck.
So, a week from Saturday, July, I think it's like 15th or 16th. I forget the actual date. There'll be a wrestling rundown. It's gonna be a crossover with ATW View. Where we're gonna cover, everything wrestling that's been going on. So we'll cover a lot of things. Play the AEW Fight Forever game if you have it. I got it Monday. I haven't been able to play it yet just because it's been so crazy. There's retros you can check out. The Raw Underground retro, the August 3rd, 2020 episode. Chris and I did that this week. And then
it's brutal.
And then I think it's the June 23rd, 2003 episode of Raw. The episode where Kane unmasked. You can check out that retro also. Retro's incoming. We have NXT TakeOver London. At this point, it's just going to be a hype up for All In. It still will be post Money in the Bank hype, but just scheduling hasn't really worked out to be able to get that video out. So I hope that video can finally get out. And then we have some non-wrestling things to hype up. Next week, there's 2 videos that'll be up. My cousin and I will be doing Owen and AJ talks, where we're gonna cover the first 2 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So that will be fun. And then there'll be retro movie reviews. We're gonna Casey, Nikos, and I will be reviewing La Strada. I still gotta watch that, but we'll be reviewing that movie. And then the 2 other videos, the Ben 10 guessing game that I did, and then the Great Kiss Time Sis Season 1 Episode 2 video that, Chris is just wondering what you doing watching that for. Like, apparently Owen likes watching that stuff. So, and now he doesn't want to be friends with me anymore. We're just going to be acquaintances at this point.
Yeah.
So, not even acquaintances. Probably not even acquaintances at this point. So,
not even acquaintances. Just
and then January, if things can work out, Owen and AJ Talks will be covering the first 2 seasons of Yellow Jackets. We'll be doing it episodically. That's going to be a lot of fun. Chris will be on board for that. We're doing it in January just because I have a feeling it's going to come back like roughly before that, so I want to make sure we have that ready. And then...
Yeah, it usually comes back like very early
Yeah,
spring.
and then...
Like
and
March.
also, too, like, you don't work that time, so you actually have the time to, like, do it, too. So, once I say this, and your dad's going to be like, oh, we're going to work now that we're going to do this. Like, you're going to sit down and do the video the very second...
It could be a very mild winter again. I could be working every day of the week.
Like this, I feel like the second you sit down, we go to record the video, your dad's going to be like, time for work. He's going to come downstairs. He's going to come downstairs. Oh, work. Like, right when you go to speak, I think, too. Like,
Oh, okay.
and you're gonna be like, oh, gotta go to work. Bye. See ya.
I got a blast.
No, you don't have to blast. You're not doing that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. And since this is being recorded in the past, we will talk to you guys in the future.
Podcast has concluded. Be sure to check out more group discussion as far as WWE content is concerned, and check out more content from For the Win Productions.